So, good evening, guys. And this is my first live stream for the Counterpoints Philippines podcast. And we're going to talk about, um, so we're going to, yeah, we're going to have an episode tonight talking about the 2020, our post this, we're going to have our post discussion about yung, in the 20, what happened on the concluded 2024 US presidential elections. And itataas ko na yung first guest for tonight is a friend of mine, si Edric America. And yeah, here it is. So, yan. There's Edric. Hello, good evening, men. Naka, wait lang, naka ano ka pa?
Oh my God. Good evening,
Ayun.
EJ.
Ayun, finally, nakita na rin mukha mo ng
Okay, after
maayos. Anyway,
2 years, I think.
yeah, almost 2 years. And
Hmm,
we're gonna tell them to, to go ahead. We're gonna go ahead or I'm gonna go ahead and tell them already.
I'm just gonna edit
I saved
the name.
I so yeah, anyway, that yun nga, this is my third live stream ko pa lang to actually. This is my third live stream in cause you know na I do pre-recordings ng mga
Mhm.
discussions namin ni Sir Kurt and some other people. So anyway, we're gonna wait ahead for kila Sir Miles, kay Sir Kurt, and kay Mr. Saviki. Well, I'm just gonna go and notify them already. I know it's been a late thing to do this, but I still want us to do this because we still got a lot to talk about kahit naunahan na tayo ng ibang mga tao.
Yeah, that's true. It's been like what, 8 months since the election. Wait, am I still
Yeah,
heard? Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you are. You are heard in the
Your
live.
camera froze. But yeah, it's been like what, 8 months since the election, and to be honest, this is literally the first time in months that I had any free time.
Yeah,
So it's
same.
nice that
Which
I'm here.
I understand. Don't worry. I understand.
And
And
yeah,
I'm glad you had and I'm glad that you have the time or you
yeah,
got the time to visit again. Kasi gusto rin kitang
yeah.
kausap. Alam mo naman ako,
Okay
medyo
ba?
tanga sa numbers.
Hindi kasi ano, parang last na natin ganito 2 years ago na eh. Tapos
Oo,
bigla pa akong umalis
yung
nun.
sa'yo. Oo,
Nung pinag-usap
yeah,
pa natin yung si pangalan niya si Slotkin at saka si Harper nun, tapos bigla akong
yep,
umalis.
yeah. Which is, I should have known na he's not gonna win. And
Yeah, I
whatever.
have been telling you that naman din na parang if hindi ako na actually napaalis nun, ang sasabihin ko dapat sa'yo nun, yes, artista nga si Harper, pero parang in terms of name recognition din kasi hindi siya ganun kakilala sa Michigan. So, parang
Yeah,
advantage na talaga ni Slotkin yun, especially na incumbent representative pa si Slotkin. But well, siya
yeah.
na yung
Even though,
senator
even,
from
even
Michigan.
though they're both, even though they're both transplanted Michiganders, yeah,
Oh yeah.
I get the point. Mas ano lang,
Parang,
mas na-establish lang si
mm,
Senator Elisa Slotkin. So anyway, I move past about that.
oh,
So
that's
the
nice.
topics were tonight. So again, like I said, the post 2024
Mm.
presidential election, who we voted for, nagano si Tito Von. Yeah, I'm gonna
What?
show the comment.
Oh,
Ako,
he's here.
hindi
What's the
kasi.
comment? Let me check. Yanggang for the head.
Pero to be honest, Tito Von, not anymore, probably. I'm kind of winded down being a Yang Democrat because no, I still believe in some Andrew Yang's policies, but I guess it changed. But a different arena is now in play. A different political arena is now in play, and we're just gonna wait for si Sir Kurt. Ewan ko lang, ang tagal niya actually. So, ano pa bang itatanong ko? Kasi ako may set of questions ako kagabi,
Oh
like
yeah, I
I
have
did
your
show
list
you guys.
here.
Pero wag mong kopyahin yan. But if you wanna go
Hindi,
grab
I
one,
mean,
fine. Go ahead.
ano, parang, eto ba yung mga tanong mo kay ano? Kasi parang I was planning that I would try to contribute din, but I don't know. Maybe not because I have no questions in naman because I feel like the questions here are pretty sufficient. I mean, the others here are pretty
Okay.
sufficient. The others here, I think, are pretty, for the lack of better
Well,
term, weird.
if you can think, pero if you can think of a question, you can on your own. Yeah, you can go ahead naman. Don't worry.
Sure, maybe I'll eventually think of some on the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna ping them once again because I'm
Sure.
telling them it's already starting.
I'm just gonna mute and turn off my camera for now.
Good evening, Sir Kurt.
Good evening. So before this, I was reading the Bleacher Report list on the 100. Kind of somewhat agree with it. There are a lot of people that are opposing Kobe Bryant's number 11 spot, but coming from my generation, he really did not.
Let him.
He was a volume shooter, so I don't glorify Kobe, and I also don't glorify the likes of Allen Iverson. So yeah, I just wanted to put it out there because it's very, very controversial to younger basketball fans. But yeah, I do get why Kobe Bryant's number 11, and then guys like LeBron is in the top two. Yeah, so there, I have to open my camera as well.
Yep.
Hello.
So yan. Si Tito Bon
Mm.
nag-comment, hindi mo pa if hindi mo pa po nakita, I'm gonna show it.
No, I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. Young
Okay, yeah.
Democrat does
Pakita.
not exist. I think he's in the forward party now, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I know.
he's not technically a Democrat, but if he ever wins, he's
Yep.
gonna caucus with the Democrat.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
because no third party has won federal
yeah,
legislative elections. But anyway,
yeah,
I got the bunch of questions. Like I said last night, I think I need to put it up somewhere. Well, we're just gonna wait for our guests for. We're just gonna wait for our guests tonight. I can. I should notify them earlier.
yeah. So, by the way, the background of Drew Savicki is actually very, very good because I read his writings on the state political history of every U.S. state, including the District of Columbia, in 270 to win. I know Edric's very familiar with 270 to
Yes,
win.
I am.
So he wrote articles there explaining why certain states used to be red and now they're blue and vice versa. So one of the better story better stories that they have tackled there was West Virginia was one of the most democratic states, and then eventually it became one of the most red states. And then the flip side to that is Vermont. Vermont used to be one of the most reliably Republican states, and now it's, of course, uh, the no the Bernie Sanders country. Very, very strange. So we're, I didn't really focus on reading on the swing states because I think there's a very, very strong reason why Pennsylvania, Michigan, and all of those states became swing states. So I was more into the solid states. How did it turn out to be that way? Like, did immigration play the role? Did cultural policies factored in as to why these states are what they are now? So I guess that is what Drew Savicki can share with us because that's a very uh, difficult task to do, especially when you look into the different party systems of the United States. So I mean, that's what is unique about American politics. They have maintained their two parties, but they have underwent several party systems including now. We don't know what the Republican Party would, what positions they would take on certain things, because now, I mean, it's strange that a group of people loyal to the president are now doubting whether he's hiding something or not. I mean, he's been hiding it for years. So we don't know exactly where the Republican Party would go at this point. So, because are those experts that are saying that the Republican Party was the other big party that challenged the Democratic Party. And then eventually, because of the lack of popular support and the fracturing of ideologies, the suddenly disappeared and they dissipated and eventually, was erased from the political conversation. So whether that happens is quite intriguing, because the traditional norms of the Republican Party, in my opinion, has been gone since Donald Trump took office. So I would, some Trump supporters that might be watching us here out of curiosity might be uh, mad, but I do think that there's a legitimacy to that claim of those experts, because after Trump winning in 2016, he took the party and made it his own. And now, you know, now that he's going to suffer what I think hypothetically would be bad numbers, people would start looking for another alternative. How would the conservatives be represented now, right? Is conservatism in America changing, or is it still the same? So we don't know for sure. So yeah, we that is uh things that I also want to know moving forward, you know. So yeah, let me just grab some food before we continue. I'm just gonna turn off my mic for a while and my cam for a while.
Your mic is still muted if you're talking, EJ.
Jay, you can speak about what your thoughts about the election last year before before I lay out my questions for all of you
La-
guys.
Last year for the American elections,
Yeah, I mean, that's the topic tonight. So yeah,
I think it was a disaster for the Democrats from start to finish because they had a strong potential to win this all. Trump was being indicted left and right, and nobody really wanted to see him to go back to the Trump years. Here's the one mistake that the Democrats made. One, they let Joe Biden run, and lastly, they handpicked the nominee towards Kamala Harris. I think it was a mistake from doing that. They should have never let Biden won, or at least they could have just gone for an open caucus convention. Okay, there's a problem with Harris running. Harris is not. There's a rule in political science, like the incumbent vice president's rule. If the president is popular, then she will likely win. If she is not, she is standing next to a wreck. What I mean by this is Harris has a lot of baggages thanks to the Biden years, and she could not literally distance herself enough. And also, they, how should I say this? Um, nobody liked the Democrats for handpicking the nominee. They should have went for an open caucus, open convention. At least the Democratic voting base can choose their own nominee instead of handpicking their own. I think it leads back to the criticism back in 2016 though was the establishment handpicked the nominee again. They screwed us over, and it reverberated back to 2024. The Democrats should learn
Mm.
from that mistake.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing is, former President Biden did promise that he will only be a one-term president. Back in 20, no, no, back in before he became president, before he even became a nominee, he said that he'll just be a one-term and a transitional president from one baby boomer to another. Oh yeah, I just wanna give shout out to Wide Awake because I gave him the live stream link. So hello, Wide Awake. My former Twitter friend that Andy's Twitter was been gone. So anyway, yeah. So that's like I said, President Biden should have kept his promise that he'll only be a one-term president. I'm really serious about that, because given his age, okay, but he had his chance in 2016, but then of course former Delaware Attorney General Bo died, and then former President Obama owes, actually, politically owes former Secretary Clinton that nomination spot. Because remember, or as we all remember now, looking back, that we're all grown ups right now, like, like he stole it from her basically. He stole the nomination from her basically. At least that's what the Clinton people think and her loyalists think. So that's why
Yeah,
she had
yeah,
to wait
yeah.
for at least 8 years.
I think that it's an understatement to say that Obama stole from Hillary in '08. I don't really think that was the case. I think Hillary really underperformed in the '08 primaries because she didn't expect that Obama would get too much traction, and her machinery was only programmed to defeat the supposed Republican candidate. So I think Obama's campaign was really under the radar, and I think it was built to tactically defeat Clinton in the primaries at the time. And I'm not saying this because I'm defending President Obama, but I am trying to say this because Hillary Clinton, Secretary Clinton, really fails to anticipate certain challenges from her, especially that the Clinton brand is totally tied to the Democratic establishment, and uh, and there will always be, whether or not valid or invalid criticisms of not only her but her husband as well. So let's just say that in 2008, the Democratic uh, voters didn't see her as the future of the party. Like she one glaring blot, of course, of her record. And I'm not saying this to denounce her as something. One glaring blot that is up for contention is the vote for the Iraq War, which of course most Democrats don't want. Right? They hated how the Iraq War was initiated. So to steal, right? I mean, maybe what happened in 2016 is that Obama was giving back the favor to Secretary Clinton because Clinton, after she lost, had decided not to sit home and decided to uh, help the Obama campaign in the general against McCain, right? So maybe that was a show off in Tagalog, what we call utang na loob. Yung utang na loob ni President Obama yung
It's a debt of
yung
gratitude.
kanyang guaranteed. Yeah. So yeah, and just to for the Filipino audience, that's the sharing or the favor that was given. Now, of course, like what I've said, the Clinton campaign is an establishment brand, so there was another populist movement to challenge that, which eventually became Senator Sanders, who also gave her a run for her money. I mean, literally gave her a run for her money, and she almost really lost the nomination had not been for you know the retooling of the super delegates, which of course most
Yeah,
Democrats also hated, and most left-leaning Democrats at this point
yeah, exactly.
sat home, and it cost
Mhm.
her in certain swing states, right? And then in
Yep.
2020, there was a consensus that maybe it's time to go to the establishment route because I guess in that cycle, and I'm being fair to all figures of the Democratic Party, Sanders was saying things that were not feasible, right? He was, given that he sparked the Democratic leaning to the left, ultimately in many aspects, he was saying things that were somewhat, let's just admit, were not workable in the
Impossible.
economic structure of things. That's why they uh, they settled on Joe Biden, who was at the time was already being questioned for his cognitive issues. All right, but of course the message was clear by 2020. Like, you know, we have to
Yeah.
vote for him because we have to battle for the soul of America, which is a deep thing. People don't realize that is a deep philosophy in American history. They they really emphasized exceptionalism there, right? And it worked because you get moderate voters to come for you. You know, you have states like Georgia flipping in the most tiniest of margins, and you also have Arizona who hasn't
One,
voted.
2%.
Uh, you guys weren't even born when they last
Yep.
voted Democratic,
Yep.
so
Yep. For
maybe that's
1996.
president.
because of
Yeah.
the moderate Bill Clinton. Yeah, Bill
Can I say?
Clinton was the last. I mean, both Georgia and Arizona, the last
Yes.
Democrat to win that was Bill Clinton, right? So
Yep.
uh,
Yes.
it's
Georgia
because of the
92,
attractiveness
Arizona
to the moderate
96.
voter. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm saying this because that's how attractive people were, because people were just voting to get rid of Trump, right? But in
Mhm.
2024, yeah, I mean, the last static will only, yeah,
So yeah, I'm
Tito
gonna
Von often says that because it's
s-
true, right? Yeah.
since our two
America would
main
just
guests
go
are still not
forward
on,
whenever the white
I'm gonna show
Americans,
the
yeah, yeah,
comments
Yeah.
first. So yeah, anyway, yun nga.
yeah.
Because anyway,
I mean, I know that
I said
sounds politically correct, but incorrect, sorry.
I only said the part ng it was stolen from her because I think that's what her loyalists think. That's not what I personally think. Okay,
I see.
that's not what I
Do we?
personally think.
Is it even real? Do we have? Is it? I mean, I'm just being curious. Are there still Hillary loyalists? Because I think the reason why people gravitated toward her, and I'm not saying this to negate on her, because I do think she's a policy wonk, and that's important for
Yep.
leadership.
You're
But at the
here.
same time, I don't think she's, let's just admit it, she's not charismatic. The only thing that made people gravitate for her was that she's going to be the first female president, right? I mean,
Mm.
I'm
I
just
completely
being,
agree with you that with that.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at the male presidents, they had charisma. Obama had it, and of course,
Yes.
whether you like him or you want to crucify him, Trump has charisma,
Yes. That's
Yes.
true.
and
Given that
other
he's a
presidents
TV
before that,
personality.
yeah,
Mhm.
because he had a show. I mean, The
Yep.
The
Apprentice was a very
Apprentice.
good rating show, and I actually watched that in season 3. Yeah, sadly, I regret saying that in live stream. But yes, Hillary doesn't have that. She doesn't
Yeah.
have that.
He
Um,
felt dry.
let's just say
Yeah.
niche.
Can I say
Yeah.
something?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Hillary Clinton was the perfect opponent for Trump. To add to his point, to add to Kurt's point, Hillary was
Sir,
uncharismatic. has a bad history, and also, let's just say, morally devious at best. And the way that Trump attacked her from every side, I think his victory was inevitable at that point.
Mhm.
But when it comes to Joe Biden, though, he was a perfect candidate against Trump. He had a tragic history with his family, and he was kind of
Mhm.
expiring for that point. And to the point, he used that message to actually win in 2024 and 2020. But I
Mhm.
don't. When it comes to 2024, though, I don't really see with that with Kamala Harris. Basically, she had uh, she had many problems similar to Clinton, and Trump fully took advantage of that. Anyone to add?
Can I say something too? If
Yes.
Dre is done.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm just gonna add to what they said both. So going back to the 2008 elections, I think the Hillary losing the 2008 Iowa caucus should have been a warning for her because yeah, as Circuit has said, it felt like that she was preparing for the general election instead of the primary election, which well led to her defeat. Well, she lost Iowa and then the subsequent contests back and forth until Obama eventually pulled it out. And then in 2016, then she instead of it becoming a coronation, it also became a close race against Bernie Sanders. The surprise win in Michigan, and then actually just New York, Michigan.
Wisconsin.
But yeah,
He almost swept all up Wisconsin counties. 71 of 72.
in the primaries,
Yeah. Noong
2016. Oh,
2016.
that's
Yeah,
shocking.
he did. 71 out
Mm.
of the only county that Secretary Clinton won is in Milwaukee area.
Oh,
Bro.
Yeah.
It kind of
I'm
reminds
not
me of
even
an SNL joke, though.
what?
what it is.
Sabi nila, during the SNL skits open is election night, she could have won in Wisconsin if she visited one. If visited
Oh
that
yeah,
state
she
at
didn't
least
visit
Oh
once.
yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't visit
She never
Like
visited
Wisconsin.
though.
the other point is that she thought that the Obama magic would transfer to
No,
her. She
she
No,
took it
really
for
did think that.
granted.
she
Yeah,
was
I know.
not.
Took it for
She was not
granted.
Obama, dude.
She was
Diba?
actually, I think, also that she was counting in Florida, which they were expecting the surge of Latino voters, but instead of the surge for Clinton, they also just surged for Trump too. So despite a higher turnout among Latinos and in Florida in general, Trump won Florida by about 100,000 votes in 2016, and then since then, Florida just trended further and further
Yeah.
into the right.
Yep. No, but then Florida was won by 5 by former President Biden, 5 or 4. But then
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, yeah,
No, I think he lost.
he lost Florida
Oh,
by
he lost
5.
Florida by 3.4 points in 2020, and in
Oh yeah. So,
2016, I think it
Okay.
was 13, 14 points in 2024, Harris versus Trump. And to add to,
ooh,
Continue.
that mic. Yeah, you can continue, Edric.
also yeah, to add to, yeah, what uh, to what DJ has said, I actually forgot my point. So I think I'm done. I'm just gonna reiterate to it earlier if I do remember, but I would continue to the Clinton that with the Iraq War. Sir Curtis said that wasn't that the one of the reasons why 2006 was such a huge wave in the first place, and it should have been a warning that they were looking
And
for change
she
also.
won
Oh
re-election. And she won
yeah,
re-election in 2006. Let's remember that.
yeah, in New York. Oh yeah, I now remember what I was gonna reiterate to Dre. So yeah, 2016, 2020, and 2024, right? So with 2016 as Trump as the perfect candidate against Hillary, in 2020 Biden was a perfect candidate against Trump, and then 2024 Kamala not having the juice to go against Trump. So I think I would also present that I think incumbency was a factor, and in essence incumbency, and then I can find the English word for it. sawa or just having enough of the incumbent party. So in 2016, 8 years of
The
Trump,
exhaustment.
yeah,
It's
exhaustment
the
of the
exhaustment.
incumbent party,
Exhaustion.
which
The fatigue, yeah.
yeah, the
Oh,
fatigue.
the
So
incumbent
oh
fatigue.
yeah, yeah, that was I was finding the word for. Thank you. So 2016, 8 years of Democrats, 8 years of Obama. So this is just gonna be copy pasting the ideas from Anna Leckman's 13 Keys to the White House with incumbent fatigue. But yeah, 8 years of Obama, which actually Obama was getting pretty unpopular. Not unpopular like unpopular 40s, 42%. By the end of the term of Obama, he was in the like 50s in the approval. But look at 2014, it was a huge revved wave. Democrats lost 13 seats in the House, I think, and 9 seats in the Senate. So they lost control of the
Yes.
Senate for the first time
Yes.
in 8 years. They held the
They
Senate
even
for like 8 years,
they even
and
they
they
even
lost
lost they even lost Ted
Colorado.
Yeah,
Kennedy's
yeah,
seat
yeah.
during that time.
Yeah,
The,
they
the
lost a
most
lot
blue
of
seat.
No,
gubernatorial states.
that wait, anong Kennedy seat? The
Ted
2010?
Kennedy seats. 2010.
'Yan,
2014,
yeah.
also
I mean,
2014.
no,
Oh yeah,
2010. It's 2010. It's 2010
yeah,
because
2010. But I was
Senator Ed Markey won 2014. No, that the 2010 special elections in Massachusetts and in Illinois, it's a flunk. At least that's how I will label it. It was a flunk election. There was a flawed democratic well, Circuit's laughing by the way. And yeah, I gonna admit it's a flunk. It was a flunk election. Like losing former President Obama's Senate seat in 2010. That is an
yeah.
embarrassing moment for the
Yeah.
Democrats. I mean, should that be an outlier? I no, it wasn't an outlier. No, that wasn't an outlier. I'm just saying it was a really flunk special election. Even in the Massachusetts, like I said, they lost former Senator Ted Kennedy's seat. They could have run for me. In my view, they could have run Ed Markey that time. They could have run Senator Ed Markey back in 2010 on that
I
special
think
Yeah.
election.
in Massachusetts, I think the factor there was that I forgot the name, Martha Coakley, right? Martha Coakley was just pretty unpopular and pretty much disliked in 2010 and also in 2014. She lost the gubernatorial seat there, right? I think she was in 2014 governor in Massachusetts. She lost it in 2010 Senate. She lost it also. I think in Illinois, the history with Illinois is that before that seat was actually famous. Not why did I say famous? Has a pattern of flip flopping. So 1992, Carl Mosley Braun picked up the seat against the Republican incumbent. In 1998, the Republican picked it up against Carl Mosley Braun. In 2004, Obama picked it up, and then
Yeah,
2010,
Yeah.
the Republican Mark Kirk picked it up against Giannoulias, and then in 2016, what's her name again? Tammy Duckworth picked it up against Mark Kirk.
yeah,
So
Senator Duckworth.
that seat has a pattern and the history of flipping or being really elastic. But in Massachusetts, that's just I think the product of Martha Coakley being that unlikable or pretty much unpopular.
Oh, by the way, she was Attorney General of
Yeah.
Massachusetts before she tried to elevate herself as a governor. That, of course, former Governor Charlie Baker won huge. And I
Mhm.
did thought in 22 that he would run for re-election, but he didn't. Actually,
Mm.
uh, it was a lucky thing for Democrats
Yes.
because I did label that it would be a 24-26 in favor of the Republicans when it comes to the control of governorships. So anyway, since I guess I'm still not here, I'm just gonna ask this first questions for now. So what do you think? Oh yeah, I want to ask Sir Kurt this. Like, what were the mishaps and lapses of the Harris Walz campaign? I don't know. Apart from the presidential candidate not being able to beat Donald Trump in terms of campaigning, probably. That's how I see it. So yeah, sorry for the Harris fans out there. So I guess sir, you can.
Okay. I did wrote about this in Facebook. So I wrote this because I was not really shocked when Kamala Harris lost. and I actually wanted her to win because I mean, if you're a normal person and you're not a fanatic of Donald Trump, you would actually uh, disgust of the continual worship for this man that has been indicted so many times, and uh, he has promoted, and I think he's implementing it now. The Republicans push hard right to a lot of policies in immigration, in government spending, and in foreign affairs. Right, the supposed reorientation of isolationism uh, in the American foreign policy. Right, so I wrote a Facebook article on why the Kamala Harris Tim Walz campaign failed. And this is all qualitative. Like I'm not gonna focus on the data because the datas would also lead to the same result. Like I mean 538 gave us a vision of how tight it's going to be for a lot of the critical states. Of course, I am guilty of bias that I don't want Trump to win anymore. So EJ knows this that I gave certain states to Kamala for the sake of, a safe bet, right? So the first reason I think the Harris, the popularity of Trump towards the common folk. Like, if you notice when the assassination attempt transpired, it actually rallied people to him because whether we like him or not, he is a former president. And when you see that in live television, you're going to feel some sort of sympathy for him. And you can't actually say that, uh, it should have happened sooner or he should have gone for the head or something like that because it will backfire, right? As a normal person, you have to give some, you need to give some sort of, peace and understanding towards that kind of optic. So that optic was the first blow to the Harris campaign because they have no choice. They have no choice but to say, you know, we should give him security agents whenever he rallies, right? And I think uh, when the mugshot was pictured, if you remember, he had a mugshot because he was arrested, right? He was bailed out in I don't know what um, police
I
he
think
was
that was
being
that
taken
I think that
picture,
was in Georgia.
but I guess that also played. Yeah, yeah, correct. It played into the anti-establishment, anti-authority fascination of Americans. Because if you know, Americans have a strong adherence to mafia people, criminals that are doing it because they're, in a way, like Robin Hood, in those kind of cases. And many moderate to independent voters are also astounded by the number of indictments he had. So it played into the he's being politicized kind of narrative. Okay, that was the second reason I put in my article in Facebook. The third one is Kamala Harris played too much on identity politics. I guess uh, Dre can can relate to this because people want results oriented leadership. They want the inflation to go down. They want prices to go down, right? So this is not the right time. 2024 was not the right time for us to amplify that Kamala Harris was going to be the first woman president. And I guess she doubled down on that by putting into context the African American, the first African American woman to become president, right? So I guess that played a lot into people not jiving with her style, right? And given that her claim to fame was Law and Order, many people would, uh, dig her records into indicting um, marijuana users in California when it wasn't still legal there. So again, that also played a significant role why she lost, right? Number four is the appearances of Republicans in the DNC. Like I myself cannot fathom that, and I understand that maybe that her team wanted to demonize the Trump campaign so bad that even members of his own party don't like it. I get that kind of logic, but putting people like Liz Cheney and other Bush era Republicans into the DNC is quite an extreme thing to do because that party, in all honesty, right, 2004, 2008, they riled against these kinds of Republicans because they labeled them as warmongers. They labeled them as people who do not have any uh, attention to detail because it was a reckless war. They shouldn't have entered that war in the beginning, right? So it's so strange that they put those people there, and that's gonna make the young voters really disappointed. And I guess most younger voters stayed home or voted third party at the election because of that kind of optical error. You know, I myself won't do that. I'm probably the best thing they should have done was they put them in low radar and they kept them, you know, secret. They didn't do it outlandishly like they did in the Democratic National Convention. And then now, number five, of course, the most clear mistake of the Democratic Party at large was to change horse midstream, right? So, of course, we can debate that Biden can't campaign anymore because he's already in decline, so on and so forth. But he has already has a tight grip on the delegates, and he has assured that he would run against Trump, right? Whether we can debate that, he shouldn't have done that, he should have kept his promise, but he was the incumbent, right? And we don't have, we can't tell him not to decide for himself, right? So the the buildup of Kamala Harris was very, very fast, very, very quick. It wasn't studied. And Biden has a fault in putting Kamala exposed to immediate attention because if you are the president, you should put your vice president in high regard. You put him in you put her in positions where she would shine. And unfortunately, because she's the border czar, the optics against her would be very, very scrutinized. And that would be a good topic for right wing talk radio and in Fox News, which the Republicans want. Okay? That's what they want. You put
They were
Kamala in
feeding
a
them
box
the
so that she
ingredients.
wouldn't be seen as likable or competent, right? Because I guess the conservative machine of those media entities I have spoken of, they want the issues to sideline. They don't want an intellectual debate. They have done that for many, many cycles. And what they want is the caricature of a weak leader that you cannot trust. Okay? Now, because Biden uh, was suddenly removed from the top ballot, right? Kamala was forced to uh, reorient herself in the most damning way possible because it's a short period of time. You can't build yourself in a short period of time. Nobody does that. Okay? In the American setting, you can't do that. In the Philippines, where we do wonders here, okay, in this godforsaken country, we can do that. In a matter of 3 months, we can turn a candidate into a good guy because of certain things, right? Certain uh, technicalities, right? That's actually true. But in the United States, you can't do that. No matter how hard you impress people, they won't vote for you, and that's what happened to her. Okay, we can debate. You guys can debate if it's Biden's fault, if it's Kamala's fault on her own, but changing horses midstream is not good in a general election. Okay, either way. Okay, and then uh, the last thing that I would like to put into is the swing state numbers are let's just say overinflated for the Republican candidate, and it just goes to show that there were a lot of missed opportunities when it comes to ground games in the 2024 elections, especially on the Kamala Harris side. I mean, you have states like Virginia and New Mexico that were guaranteed to go blue no matter what. They are closer than usual. Okay, so it's wrong to say that Virginia would slowly become a red state. Again, that's not going to happen. It just so happens that they weren't able to galvanize the people that puts support on these states, on these counties in Virginia, New Mexico, Illinois. I mean, Illinois and New Jersey are blue states AF, okay? I'm saying that for disclaimer. They were unexpectedly close than normal because the base and machinery was not galvanized, right? That's why you can expect in the state governor's election in New Jersey and in Virginia, the results will be like 2020 again, okay? Or probably if the Republican is good in campaigning, it will be close, but not to the extent of you Virginia was, if I'm not
An
mistaken,
outlier.
7 points. Yeah, Virginia was 7 points, plus seven for Harris in 2024, right? For a state that consistently votes blue.
Yep,
So the
since
machinery was not
2008.
galvanized, which means to say there were support that were held back because they don't know who Kamala Harris is, and the fundraisers were technically an extension of what Biden won when he was the candidate early 2024. Okay, so I hope you're understanding my point. The states that you saw that were closer to bakit ang close ng Illinois ganito ng New Jersey,
Yep,
the reason why they're
New Jersey.
close is
Yeah,
because of that. There has to be a strong buildup of machinery, right? This isn't this is this is alarming because if the Democrats have that tendency, then there are certain must-win seats in Congress and Senate that might get lost, especially when we don't or the party itself does not have a consistent machinery or state support, right? They
yeah,
should adopt the 50 state strategy as soon as possible. Okay? We are not anymore in the Kennedy era of the Democratic Party wherein you just put resources in one state and expect your allied governor to rig it for you. That's not gonna work anymore. I mean, it works for the Republicans, but it won't work for the Democrats in the long run, right? So that's what I'm saying. That I think that is the uh, reason why the Kamala Walls campaign or Harris Walls campaign failed to win. Okay, so
mm,
yeah, I'm open to hear to I'm open in hearing your other points as young people. I mean, I consider you younger, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, I'm just 20.
Yes.
So yeah, it's our turn, Edric. What? So yeah,
Oh,
what do you think?
I'm first.
Mm,
So I agree with the points, and I would just like to add that I think one of the dooms of the Kamala Walls, Harris Walls campaign is that first of all, the online presence was not just there. I mean, I think if she was just in the Rogan, what they called it, the podcast, I think there
Yeah,
might have been votes swayed because I remember when I was watching the election coverage, the night itself, one of the things that I saw on CNN was this reporter interviewing the people in line in Arizona. And the reasons that they were saying that they were voting for Trump was that they saw them in podcasts, in memes, in basically pretty much all of the online content that you can think of.
entertainment.
So one of the major things that why they were voting for Trump this time around is because of the things that they saw about him online. So there wasn't much that you could say for the Harris campaign. There was no that much podcast appearances. Maybe there's that wired interview, but as far as the last time I checked, the views weren't that much compared to what Biden got. And then second of all, I think it was a mistake that Walls wasn't let be himself in the first place. So
Oh yeah,
the reason why people wanted Walls in the first place was that he was willing to fire back against Republicans. The "say it with me" weird tweet, that was the
yeah.
biggest example that you could say that Walls would be an effective counter towards the Republicans. But in the general election, when he was selected as the running mate, where's that Walls? He's nowhere to be seen. He was, for a lack of a better term,
He was lips.
they
He was
did that.
zip
Yeah.
lip. He was kind of zip lip. Yeah.
He was you know the appearance of Walls was pretty much close to non-existent. Maybe in campaigns, but those types of campaigns, I mean those types of things like sound bites or
Interviews.
anything that, yeah, nothing. So there's no sound bites, there's no, let's just say, iconic moments for Walls or even for Harris. And then, yeah, memes, the McDonald's meme for Donald Trump where he was serving fries in the driveway. There's nothing that is actually that you can see there in the Democratic side and the Kamala Harris side. There is no iconic things. Maybe, for say, the endorsement of Taylor Swift of Kamala Harris, but that barely moved the needle. Basically, also, yeah, I think maybe Kamala Harris not utilizing Taylor Swift enough. This is a hot take for me. I think she still would lose the election, but I think she should have utilized the celebrities that was on her side, especially the power of Swifties, like the power to, you know, raise funds, organize, especially that Swifties are a force to be reckoned with. So I think she should have, at least coordinated with something, because the only Taylor Swift related thing that I have seen with Kamala Harris was actually the day that Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, when Kamala Harris spoke, I think, after the debate, and then when she was walking out, she was playing The Man by Taylor Swift, but after that, there's pretty much nothing. So I think I have dragged the discussion a bit off topic, but I am done. So that's my thoughts.
So for me, before I go to, well, Andre already said something about this earlier, but so yeah, it's my turn, and I just want to say that policy wise, the the implementation of certain national projects by the Biden Harris administration will, according to the build, it's not gonna be, well, some of it, okay. I don't know much about the how the infrastructure projects had been implemented, but what I think is that some of those infrastructure projects are delayed, are they got intentionally delayed because Republican says that we don't want we don't want too much government spending. As it's ironic because they also like to burn the money of their they like to burn also the federal budget of their country when it's their turn to spend the money on taxing their rich buddies, doing I don't know, little bit of infrastructure, And the next thing is another failure of the Harris Walls campaign is that they didn't listen apathetically to the pro-Palestine American empathetic crowd. They they are
Yeah.
so they more sympathize on the Israel front because I don't know, because America is still mostly
Mm.
a pro-Israel country, full
Shout out
nonstop.
to APAC.
What?
Here we go.
Oh,
Here we
yeah.
go. No, oh my god. Let's not
I-
dive
I
too
I'm
mean,
deep.
only kidding.
ayun na
Joke.
nag-scene na si ano
Also,
It's
si
a
yeah.
joke, folks.
Also, I would like to add with what EJ has said. Yeah.
because wait, I
Wait.
just want to say
Go
that
first.
well, there's a comment from Tito Von that most yeah, but still Tito Von, the and the national White House administration, especially in America, people also wants to see results in their president, not just in their state government. They want the federal government to help them out on they want their federal government to help them out when it comes also to infrastructure. When it's especially when it comes to climate, from at least for me, I can be wrong. Okay, I can be corrected by it, but at least that's how I see it. When it comes to infrastructure of climate change related projects and other related projects. So yeah, and again on the Israel front, they should have been they should have empathized more, and former VP Harris could have said that she would have she would have stopped giving the military aid to Israel unless there will be ceasefire and there will be no more missile strikes. I mean, at least if I was part of the campaign of the Harris Walls when it comes to foreign policy, I would have said that. So yeah, but sige, si ano muna,
Us.
si Andre.
Go.
I think to add to your point, Harris couldn't really distance herself from Biden because she was the incumbent president. If you make the incumbent vice president, I
Oh,
mean, if you make the incumbent president look bad, then you yourself would look bad. However, when it comes to the Israel and Palestinian conflict, I really think that she could have do a Hubert Humphrey. Basically, you say that, oh, we want a ceasefire deal as soon as possible, but I think she was late on saying that. And however, she tried to appeal to the pro-Palestine side, pero I think it wasn't really enough, and she was stuck in the middle in a conflict that has no middle ground to it, and she was screwed wherever side she went. If she went for the Israel side, she would have likely pissed off some leftists. If she would have gone for the Palestinian side, she would have pissed off the establishment Democrats. And I think the way she played those conflicts or tried to manage them was bad from an optic standpoint. Pero her hands was tied at that point. She couldn't do anything more. I think that's just a hot take. Hot take. I mean,
all right. And another thing is that for me, she didn't do any performative political campaigning. I mean, it's okay. Let's say that it would be cringy for her side, but then she could have done at least something humane. She could have done something performative, like yeah, like what President Trump did on that McDonald's thing.
Mm. Good.
And just to add into that, before Edvic speaks, the guy that promoted the keys to the election, he thought that the Trump thing was like Dukakis in the tank, and he was proven wrong. I mean,
yeah.
Alan Litchfield was really humiliated at this point because
Yes.
he didn't get elections wrong. This is the first election where
And it's the first
his
one.
streak has ended. It's like it's like watching the Undertaker losing in WrestleMania. I'm just comparing it to sports so that people would have an idea of what
Yeah.
happened to Alan Litchfield. But yeah, Yeah, I do agree with EJ on the performative side. I know that it sounds very bad in American politics, but other candidates do that. They just do it
Yeah,
more effectively. Like for
and
example, Joe
they
Biden
Madonna,
with
like
for
the
example.
ice cream. I mean,
yeah,
Joe
so they
Biden with the
queen.
glasses. That's performative.
Yeah,
It's not.
the
Kamala should
Brandon
have.
thing. Yeah, the whole Brandon thing.
Yeah, I mean Trump doing the thing in McDonald's, and then, I mean all of them had done something performative. They do it interactively. I don't think that. I don't think that Kamala would be so different from them. I mean, there was this video that should have been overplayed by the Democratic Party, where she was humane enough to tell the interviewers what vinyl record she listens to. I think that should have been the performative side. Like put some humanity over a vice president, right? Maybe on in terms of policy, she should have hosted more town halls. What happened was she was really put at the thrust of the scene, and she didn't have devices to play her strengths on that. So that's all I can say. You know, I mean, Trump at McDonald's worked for him, even though it looked silly, right? But the handlers must be aware of not making the candidate a joke, but rather more of a good imager.
Win-win.
Like, yeah, you put a good image over someone, right? And
Yeah,
the Democratic Party used to be good at that, more so than the Republican Party because the authenticity is there, right? But now it's the Republicans that are good in the marketing uh, side of things, you know. Yeah, that's. I just wanted to add that, like, poor Alan Lichtman. I mean, he used to be the pariah, and now he's just a forgotten has been. I hope he can recover, but he doesn't predict midterms. I mean, that's
yeah.
Kornacki.
Unfortunately,
Who's the guy from
No.
CNN?
Kornacki,
John King. They're the
John
ones
King.
really that
John King.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Lichman only does
So,
presidential, so hopefully he bounces back in 2028. Let's hope for the
Oh,
best. Poor,
there's
poor
another
soul.
mistake of the former VP herself. Remember when someone said na long live Jesus Christ, all of that in one rally, and then she said that you must be in the wrong place. That rubbed
Yeah,
off some really
that's also another
religious
bad,
minded
yeah,
and that
bad
also rubbed
flag,
off
bad red flag. That.
our fellow Filipinos who are religious. They must have
That's
thought
why there are
na,
a lot of
oh,
Trump
the
supporters that
Democratic,
are Filipinos.
yeah, it's bullshit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know. I just want to say it out there. It's bullshit.
ah,
Okay, it's bullshit. Like I get it that you want to support a guy who's doing performative politics or performative governance rather performative governance when it comes to what do I say when it comes to signing executive orders and passing legislation that will help supposedly the religious groups or just normal people who are God fearing, all that things, that shit, all that things, okay? And for me, that's no problem. That's for me, that's not really a problem. But my problem would be is that the candidates, if that candidate, him or herself, is not personally following what the Bible has told them or not, yeah, Bible what the Bible has told them or what God has told them, then that should be ano that should be a red flag to them. But of course, that didn't happen, which is a low blow for me to say the least. Even though I'm not a religious person, okay, I'm not a religious person. I'm just saying that it's just so frustrating to see how some of these damn Republicans that are godless, personally, are playing into the minds of these uh, God-fearing white Americans or other colored Americans, and I think That's how, and I blame Paul Wyrick for this bullshit. Anyway, that's my rant. So Edric can start again. Then I'll give it to Jay in the
So
next one.
before we stray to a different topic,
Too much.
I would just like to add something to the Palestine and with the Alan Lickman topic. So for the Palestine, I think Kamala Harris should have, or at least in the DNC, they should have let some Palestinians talk. So if she wanted to at least, even though it's a pretty much a moonshot at this point, so she should have let some Palestinians speak, especially the I think that Georgia state representative, if I'm not mistaken, and because I think the DNC needed some Palestinian representation if they wanted to have some olive branches to be given to the Palestinian crowd, especially that the Palestinians, especially the one in the Dearborn, Michigan, is really souring towards the Harris campaign, especially that if we look at the results there, it swung to Trump or Jill Stein big time.
Just
Like,
can win that district, dude. She won
yeah,
that.
even, oh yeah, it swung towards Trump and Stein by huge amounts. And actually, if we would look at the vote that Jill Stein got, the funny thing is that in the election, Jill Stein's votes didn't even matter at all because if you add the Harris and Stein votes, Trump still wins the swing state. So that's one of the very skating realities of the Harris campaign. And with Alan Lickman, I have a hot topic. Hot topic. I have a hot
Hot take.
opinion there. Hot take I use. So I think the keys to the White House should have held well, but I think Alan Lickman turned the wrong keys. I think he turned the keys wrong. I think there are 13 keys here, like so right. So you need like six and higher, so that the incumbent party would lose the election. So here at four, so I would argue that these keys should be turned into false with the either the short term or long term economy because yes, the economy would be really strong in the short and long term, but the Americans aren't feeling it. So in terms of vibes, this should have been set to false. And then if those two keys have been turned, then it would have been six keys, and then the winner, according to the 13 keys, would be Trump. Or the keys for the no primary contest and the major foreign military success or no scandal, two of the three would have been turned into false. No primary contest, there was at least, even though it's minor, but I think there is a specific criteria for Alan Lickman to count as a no primary contest. But yeah, there were Dean Phillips, there were Marion Williamson, which even though they got really not much votes, there were still primary amounting of a primary contest against Biden. And then with social unrest, I would argue that the Gaza issue was a social unrest, especially in the universities where the students in the universities were being, arrested. So I think that would should have been counted as a social unrest. And then the major foreign or military success. I don't think that, according here to Wikipedia, it was about the Russian invasion of Ukraine in terms of the NATO, but the war is still ongoing. If it was really a huge win there, why is the war still ongoing? That's just what I think. So maybe it can be explained why it was there in the first place, but that's just what I think. And now I pass the mic to Dre.
I think Harris as a candidate or the way she ran the campaign, it was very Hillary Clinton establishment. Usually, you would see the establishment candidate with running an ad about, and she came off as ingenuine, dude. She was stiff, even though even though the attacks on Trump were effective, pero I could not see myself voting for some candidate that seems so ingenuine and so scripted.
Well, if you're an American, yeah.
Yeah, and I have to compare this to the Magdani campaign. Magdani had a good campaign for the New York primary. He came off as genuine. He used social media to the maximum limits, and he managed to turn a 30-point lead by Andrew Cuomo into a, let's just say this, Michael Bloomberg style election loss. Even though you spent billions and millions of dollars, you still lost badly to the next guy. I mean, the way she campaigned though, it was so stiff and reminded me so much of Tintin. And I think if she ran again, she will have that problem if she didn't learn that lesson. Go.
Well, yeah, I do believe that, and I did say before that if she would be the nominee, she would lose definitely to President Trump, which we all know it did. It now happened. No matter what she would, at least what I think is that no matter what she could have done to recalibrate her campaign, I think it would have been a futile one. I'm sorry for the I'm sorry for the
Yeah,
KH
it's a
stands here. Now Filipinos, okay. I'm so sorry about you guys, but it would be futile. Kahit ako aminin ko, like, if Andrew Yang was the nominee and then he could and in 2020, hypothetically, and then he could not recalibrate well on his would have been campaign against President Trump on 2020, he would have also lost. And guys, let's remember, it's not just because America was divided why President Biden won. It was the COVID. We're all stuck at our homes. Or the rest of the world, we're stuck in their
yeah,
homes. Remember?
yeah, and what like Dre said, I mean, Biden had a compelling backstory to, people get inspired by, he had a son dying early at a young age, and then he also had another son dying of the war, right? See, Bo. So many people can relate to that, and then the
No,
the Soul of
daughter.
America
Daughter yung
narrative
isa, actually.
is, yeah, the one who died in the car accident, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, having said that, the Soul of America narrative is so compelling that the independent voters swayed for him. Let's not try to de-inflate Biden's strategy just because of COVID, because let's admit that the campaign of
Okay, fair enough.
Biden was uh already preparing for the generals, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
expected of him
Uh,
as the front runner. So they
when he
planned this
entered.
before he planned this before COVID even came about, right? So the Soul of America narrative for me was the killer combination, and then his backstory, and then of course he had his legislative moments as well. But of course,
Yep.
in a matter for years, you know, it's going to not bide well because you're running for your record, and given that his cognitive decline was already apparent, it would be hard for him to defend that, right? And I agree. The Kamala Harris, no matter what she have done, at the end of the day, even if I'm just saying this not to disorient
Not
people,
to dig.
but if you
Not to
if
dig
you
on her.
really were put in a thrust, like for example, if you were really given the baton early on, and then suddenly people saw the decline of your boss, and then you're put into the top spot, you can't really recover from that, right? It's very hard to see a path where Kamala would be sitting pretty at the polls, right? I guess what was done was the closest thing to a well organized campaign. Okay, we have to accept that reality. It was very short, right? So that's
Yep.
what I can say is that is the closest thing of a good campaign if you are given the spot late in the game, right? Uh, that is the thing I agree with EJ's point. I mean, we can debate her record, we can debate the establishment
Yep.
caliber, but since I
But the
hate
fact
populism
is,
in its most purest form, I don't also want people that promises something and then they can't deliver, right? especially on things like healthcare, the economy. It's promise a lot. It's easy to say that the establishment is evil, sort and so on. But once you're in office, you're already the establishment. I mean, let's admit the fact.
Yeah,
That's how I fear populism on both ends, because they promise, they rile up people, and then they can't get anything done. Just like
done.
what's happening now on the
Yeah.
right.
Es-
Now, if
Especially that.
I
I'm sorry.
mean, okay, yeah, you can go.
Eh,
Yeah,
It's just gonna be a quick one, especially that in 2024 the odds for Democrats in terms of retaining the Senate was not that high,
Yeah.
especially that you are defending states in Ohio, West Virginia, in Montana, in Pennsylvania, and any other swing states that eventually ended up going red. So she really can't promise anything pretty big, especially that in a Republican controlled Senate, it would just pretty much die. So she had to balance the in terms of promising something that is compelling to the American people and being realistic in terms of what can I pass with 49, 48 seats in the Senate, and then except it's just 47 because she flopped. And I'm done. So thanks.
Another thing. Before Circuit finishes his thought, remember, Senator Sanders won't even caucus with the Democrats. Same with Senator King. So that's I don't know. I mean, caucus
don't do
meaning
they?
they're officially
They
I mean,
okay.
technically,
off.
they would vote for Democrats too. Democratic
Yeah,
policies,
but
pretty
yeah,
much.
but the point is they're not officially elected Democratic senators.
Yeah,
They're independent senators.
that
Yeah,
caucuses. Yeah, yeah. I think
mm,
my point was that you know, many people hate establishment candidates now, like with Mandani's win in New York. I mean, we can argue that Mandani won because his opponent was very unpopular. Like Andrew Cuomo's
yeah,
one of the most hated men in New York. Like nobody wants to join hands with him. Nobody even wants to say
yes,
hello, Mr. Cuomo. Nobody wants that, right?
yeah,
So is it a math? I mean, there's an argument in my head that's saying that maybe he won or he got where he is now because of an unpopular opponent. Because if you have a moderate Democrat in New York, which I guess fits the bill of a Democrat in New York that has the same skill set, I think he would be well, it could be competitive, right? Like for example, AOC ran at the same, I mean, she has the same vibe like Mandani, right? Young,
yeah, yep.
diverse, and left leaning, but she,
Economically and
once she's
culturally,
there in the office, she had to drop certain things that would make her off to the public, right? And I
yeah,
guess that Mandani would be at the same
Yes.
direction because I mean, governance is a very very complex thing. Like it's so
yep,
difficult to be idealistic. You gotta be pragmatic on a lot of things, and I know some people would be angry at me or at us by saying this, but
It's true.
squirming at the bureaucracy is the most prudent
no,
thing
but
to do,
but
right?
but my
You gotta
idea, but my
compromise.
idealist, wait lang, but my idealistic counter here would be, what about the Republicans that are one state party dominant? They
Let
get
race
almost
speak.
to
Yeah,
pass.
like yeah,
They
like
get
what
to they
Let
get to
like
race
pass
speak.
their
Let
idealistic
race speak.
state
Let me
related
speak.
yeah,
legislation.
but
I want
here's
to
the
speak.
deal. Okay.
I don't know. Go first.
Sige.
Go first.
Hindi, sige sir, ikaw daw muna sir.
Go first.
Okay, yun nga. I guess it's because the Republican Party, like what I've said early on in this live stream, they are supposedly in the way of the Whig Party. They are slowly but surely creaking more or less into abandonment. That's why they had to give in to their most uh, illest of let's just say the dark side of things. And I don't mean that to Republicans that are watching. I'm just saying the reality that's happening. You let your party get to that point that now they can impose policies that are very, very extreme, that is very not only unpopular but also not efficient, right? So now the Democratic Party has a bigger tent to fill. That's why I'm saying this. I'm not saying this to match the absurdity of the Republicans, because the Republicans have a sickness of becoming the Whig Party. That they're if one day they'll be gone. The one day they'll drift, because without a strong personality, there won't be a Republican Party anymore compared in the past. So now the Democratic Party is a wide tent, and it's so impossible to push the progressive agenda in every party, in every member of the party. I'm just being
Yeah.
practical now, because there are more
Mhm.
independent voters. I don't know if this is still holding up, but there are more independent voters that would look into the feasibility of voting Democratic. That used to be not the case, because in 2004, the last election where strictly the Republican Party was still dominant in its purest form, uh, independent voters are split between Kerry and Bush, right? But now more independent voters are voting. If they hate both parties, they vote third party, like in the case of the Libertarians and the Greens, right? So now Democrats are the most feasible party to uh, be voted by independents, and they won't really uh, be swayed. They won't be swayed by the progressive agenda. It can work in areas that are really left leaning. New York, the New England states, West Coast, the coastal. You get my point. The coastal Democratic establishment would love that, but Middle America can't do that, and that's strictly why pragmatism has to be the guiding light now for the Democratic Party. You have to at least embrace a diversity of opinion when it comes to a lot of issues: abortion, trans rights, voting rights, and so on. Right? So probably, if the people are going to have a person that would have a good messaging on progressive policies that are appealing to middle America, then that's the time wherein another, you know, another strong democratic uh, rule would happen. Strong democratic party rule would happen, which already happened since the days of FDR. I mean, I could arguably say that the Democratic Party was at its strongest from the 1930s to the 1960s, right? Capped off by the New Deal and the Civil Rights Act. And then after that, they haven't gotten near to that complete dominance, because the Republicans replaced them eventually. I would argue that by the 70s to the 2000s, yes, there were a Carter win and a Clinton win, but technically statewide, 50 states, the Republicans were stronger at that time. So that's my point. Of course, many can argue back that that's not good, and that's just going to feed the establishment more and more stuff. But I mean, if you clean the establishment, then there's no problem, because you know uh uh you know if you make it clean, then there would be more substantial reform. Of course, we're Filipino citizens, so we will have a different opinion of how the two-party system works. You know, because we
Or
live,
should work.
we witness a multi-party system that is elite driven, and it's way worse than what's happening in Western democracies. That's something we can all agree on. Like many many of our friends in the UK or in other countries, the US, they hate their party structure. But when
Yeah,
you ask
definitely.
normal Filipinos like us, I mean, imagine that our parties are based on pure personality. Of course, there is an argument that maybe the Americans are copying the Philippines, and there's a lot of argument for that as well.
Mhm.
But I can say that there's a safe bet that there's a salvage of institutions in Western democracies because they have, uh, you know, um, strong institutions there, right? And compared to the Philippines, I'm saying this because I've graduated, I've had a job, and it's not changing. It maybe the people change, but there's
Yep,
systemic
but
gaps. Yeah,
it's still not
that's all,
changing.
as a Filipino, that's what I can say to people that are Americans, British people that are so sick and tired of their system. You try living here, and you would have a change of heart, or I don't know. It depends on your perception, din naman. Yeah, I
Yep,
mean,
indeed.
imagine. I mean, you have two. I mean, not only two. You have three families
Five.
that have put people in Malacanang already. Three. Macapagal, you have the Marcoses and the Aquinos. And again,
Yep.
that doesn't have any ideological bearing whatsoever,
Yep.
right? And in order to be part of the bureaucracy, you need to make a name for yourself by
So,
running even though you don't want to run. You're just a relative and you run, you know, and you just get training. You get legislative training as if it's something to be trained for. I'm just saying this because all of us, no matter what your nationality is, we get grumblings a lot. So, yeah, that's just my take. I have a lot of things to say. Sorry. So you may continue on.
Can I talk?
sige, it's Andre's turn. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Because I got another questions coming ahead, and
Okay,
we got
okay,
sidelined. It will be your last, and then we can go to other questions.
okay. I'm just gonna put this out before I actually start on my real talking points. Andrew Cuomo, the worst candidate that the Democrats could ever put in a state ballot or even on
At
a
least in the
federal
New
ballot.
York. At least in the New York.
Everywhere, everywhere, and that's saying something from the Democratic Party. Sure, he was perfect from a paper standpoint, political dynasty, married the Kennedy, was whatever, whatever. Pero in essence, he was the worst candidate they could have put out. Nobody would want to vote for someone that has sexually harassed 13 women and also killed grandmothers in nursing homes. Nobody was gonna vote for that. But with that
Yeah.
out of the way, Madani represents something new in politics. You know why? Magdani is the new generation, like the new politics. You may disagree on him with his politics or policies, especially in economics, in an economic standpoint. Pero
Yeah.
Magdani gave progressives, not only in America but worldwide, a new playbook. One, utilize social media to the max, to the breaking point. Two, focus on economic policies. What do I mean by this? In a capitalist system or a neoliberal system, everything is expensive, from the schools, from your hospital bills, and they often
Hospital
make you
bills. Yeah.
hospital bills. Sorry, they often make you bankrupt. What
Yeah.
Magdani did was focus on affordability in the most expensive city in the world, and that worked. And I think progressives should take to account and make it into their playbook. You may don't focus
Yeah.
too much on social policies that can isolate people, but focus on the things that matter: affordability, living expenses, and
Yeah.
I really think that should be the playbook of the Democratic Party. Pero it's a
And
Democrats, man. They will put on the next establishment figure to run for the presidency and lose, because I don't want this socialist to become the next president. I don't want this
socialist.
socialist Muslim to be the next president or whatever. And I think they
Um.
really should. Yeah,
No,
go.
I just want to say that. he's not dumb enough to want to be a presidential candidate. I would give him
He's
that.
not.
I would give him that that doubt. He's not dumb enough to go. And by the way, the social media thing, it has been ano ba to? I just want to say that it's been the social media in American politics in this 21st century has been there. It was only utilized in a better way. At least that's what I
Yeah.
think. Like State Representative Mom Dani improve the utilization of social media is what I would say. Not in a way you categorize it earlier. So yeah, it's the let. What do you mean? It's the letters. What? Ano, Edric?
Is
What?
it
What?
showing the right way or is it flipped?
It's
No,
showing the
it's
right
not.
way.
It's not. It's showing the right way, at least in the camera. So
So it's
yeah,
showing you
but
guys in the right way.
Yeah.
yeah, we can
Oh,
see
good,
it.
good, good. Thank
The
you.
letter
Pero,
flips. Okay. Sige, ikaw,
pero
Andre, what? You can
I'm just
continue.
gonna say this: the Democratic establishment is dumb for putting Andrew Cuomo on the ballot. They're dumb for doing that, bro.
I
Hello?
mean, look, I the New York some of the establishment of the New York Democratic Party will still want him to be the mayor. They don't want the current one for Mayor Adams, who is, you know, he
Turkish
was
owned.
charged. Yeah, he was charged with crimes. Remember? That's why the older New York Democrats want see former Governor Cuomo. At least that's how I see it. And so yeah, and we're gonna go to some comments here. First, yung kay Josiah. What do you think? Like the 2022 midterm results were misread. I don't know what he meant by this, but
Yes, it is. It is still writing.
Oh,
yeah, it is in the
he explained it to me. So basically, he meant that Democrats misread the midterms because they thought that they could win on abortion and democracy, which I actually told him in private that I actually agree with the abortion part. Like, I mean the democracy part because to be fair, as I have seen on Twitter and actually in terms of observation on why these types of presidents win like Trump is that if you are hungry and in terms of necessities like yeah, the food is expensive, gas is
the economy
expensive,
part. Yeah,
basically the economy is in the gutter. What do you care about democracy? So basically, shoving democracy down as a campaign issue is probably would have been a bad idea, is what I think. And then in terms of abortion, I actually thought that the abortion would have been a winning issue for the Democrats up until that it flopped in the electoral standpoint. So in terms of the priorities, voter priorities, it just ended up that it's still the economy, stupid. It is what it ended up being instead of abortion or anything that Democrats have presented. It's still the economy. If the people does not feel that the economy is okay, so you should have been running on the economy, which Kamala
They could have
Harris
never
did
done.
try, but yeah,
They could have
as
yeah,
never
we
she
done
always
that.
have
did.
said that, yeah, she did, but it wasn't up front and center. It felt like she was still focusing on abortion, which is valid, especially that it really do affect a lot of people. But in terms of democracy or any other things that they're presented, yeah, that was actually not a good idea. So that,
Given
that's
how
what
financially
Josiah has.
corrupt, given how financially corrupt the American campaign system is, no thanks to the Citizens United. More like I would call it Corporations United. Okay,
APAC.
that's what I would
Yes.
call it. Let's be honest here. It
Oh
is a
no! Hindi siya
Corporations United.
bumubura. Ay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, you're dead. You should have said that. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, the 2022 for me was half fluke. Okay, I would really say that it was a half fluke thing of an election, because it's not just the abortion thing. It should have been the economy. You should have been focused on the economy. Like we could have let Republicans win on the cultural wars in a way, but then at the same time I don't want to, but then the Democrats should be the economic party for the work and
You hear?
be the party for the economic affordability and for the working people. That's what I really believe is what they should be focused on 2028. So yeah, that's it.
You want
Oh,
to
and
let-
another.
Can I
Sige,
talk?
you wanna have a
Yeah.
last crack before I can
Yeah.
ask other questions? Okay, sir.
It's sad that the Democratic Party is no longer the party of the working class, to be honest. Like from FDR till to the 1970s, they have been the party of the working class. They have, pero they kind of lost that grip. I guess around mga 1990 when Bill Clinton was elected. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong?
But
What?
then there's
Yes.
still most but then there are still American voters who backed him up in 1996 given how the
Yeah.
newly House Republican governing party wanted to slash programs that will affect their lives.
I
Yeah,
really
and
think that
the Republicans caused the what they call that, the lockdown. So Clinton got
Yeah.
certain programs retained. So yeah, so you can continue.
I really think the Democrats should never have abandoned the New Deal policies or the New Deal principles up until now. Pero who
No, but
knows?
then but then in hindsight the economy is changing, whether we like it or not. And the other thing is, not every policy of the past will still be workable in the future.
Okay, you
That
win.
that's the realistic thing. And if well, they can have a new version of the New Deal if they wanted to, diba? So yeah, that's what I think in the terms of the economic agenda. So I have a question now, other questions, because we have strayed away for too long in other topics. So my next question would be, what ano yung mga US House races that we are saddened that didn't get flipped? I know si Edric maraming ano yan, maraming masasabi yan na gusto yung US House race that he wanted to see flip but then it didn't happen. So for me, first of all, I would probably be saddened about, I guess, the house race in New Jersey 7, Pennsylvania 10, and and Pennsylvania 1. There's a Alright, so yeah, ikaw muna, Edric. Yeah, well, because of gerrymandering, we know. So yun, the in Pennsylvania 10, I would say this first is that Janelle Stelson is a competitive candidate and a competent one. But the reason why she lost that tightly, I don't know the pure reason now, because this is just my speculation. My speculative reason is it was a tight year for house elections, but at the same time it was a looming and dooming uh election day for the Democrats is what I see. So yeah. Oh yeah, I want Edric to have a say on this first. Then I'll let Circuit. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let him answer my question as well if he wants to answer. But Edric, yeah, go take it away first. What is it?
So, to be fair, all of these I expected to lose except this Vargas versus
Yeah,
Bacon. I expected Bacon to go down, but well, Bacon is still a representative from the second district of Nebraska. So
yep,
California for the first congressional district, Rollins versus Calvert. I have been following this
yep,
since 2022. I was actually not expecting Rollins to win, especially with the polling wasn't really great for him, and especially that as results trickled in on election night, the numbers weren't there for him. So I was expecting that he would go down, but I was expecting that Calvert would stay and Rollins would go down. But yeah, that's still pretty heartbreaking. Well, I think Rollins is not running in 2026. I think, right?
yep.
I don't. He's
So
not running
far,
again.
and the one And one of the Democratic competitors is, like I said, a former base of the One Republic.
Ooh,
I- yeah,
Do you know
one of,
that band? Well, I do know
well,
that band.
I didn't know that.
hindi, kasi
They sung
alam namin sir
"Apologize."
because
Yeah,
no, yeah, well, not just apologize because because I like their song, yung Counting Stars.
yeah.
Oh,
That actually. Well, can I just seg that Counting Stars
Ah, sige.
sold more than "Apologize"? Yeah, it went
Oh yeah,
number
no
two
doubt,
in the
no doubt,
charts. Yeah,
no
and it
doubt.
qualified for Grammy. I don't know what category, but yeah, yeah. Um, we
Right.
don't want to compare them to any Filipino musician because that's a different thing. Okay, I don't want to go into that. No,
Yeah,
he's way
I
better.
just
Probably, I think he's
I,
more relatable. Yeah,
I just lay it out there because I was shocked when I saw the name of the guy and then the background that
yeah,
oh he was a bass for One Republic before, but then
yeah,
they didn't get to be part of the Counting Stars thing. So anyway, I just laying
yeah.
it out there. So
He
Edric,
can
what's
get
your
his.
next?
Sorry.
well, that's fine. So Arizona first, Arizona second, Arizona sixth. These are arguably kind of gerrymandered for the Republicans. But
We
I was
love
expecting that.
gerrymandering.
What?
No, but
We
it
love gerrymandering.
yeah.
Yes, we do. So these three
In
districts, I
favor
was
of the
actually
Dems,
expecting.
yes.
Anyways, so with these three districts, I was expecting that at least one of them in an ideal year for the Democrats would actually flip, but they ended up not doing anything. I was actually telling you guys for the elections that it's gonna be a massive blunder if they do not flip even any single one of these, which they did, and especially that they lost Arizona by I think 5.5 points. Harris lost to Trump by 5.5 points there. So yeah, if Arizona's not blue, so say goodbye to this, say goodbye to this, and say goodbye to this. Well, but at least Ruben Gallego was elected over Carol Lake, but that's a discussion of how Carol Lake sucks in general instead of the other things like the
Senator
top of the
Gallego.
ballot. Yeah. And Nebraska, the second congressional district, I was expecting that Bacon would go down, especially polls were saying that Bacon was fried. Anyways, so Nebraska 2 ended up becoming a 2-point
A
win for
heartbreaker.
Bacon. Yeah, I
Well, a
think as
heartbreaker
far
for the
as
Democrats.
yeah, it was. I think Bacon was actually Vargas was initially ahead and then Bacon took over and then he never recovered. So the honorable mentions are Michigan's 10th congressional district, John James, but
Yeah.
entrenched incumbent. But it seems that John James is, I think, running for governor of Michigan.
Yeah.
So
No,
this might be
not think.
interesting.
That's really happening. So he'll
Yeah.
just be 0-3 statewide and two
So
wins in
this is
house
going to be
house elections.
a potential pickup for Democrats
Toss
if
up.
the
No,
year
well,
if
toss up for
the year is
now.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would put it lean or at the moment, but Colorado, the third congressional district, I was excited for a rematch between Bobert and
Trish.
Frisch, and then Bobert carpetbags to the fourth congressional district, but
Yep.
Colorado fourth ended up
Because
being close to for its partisan lean. I think it was R+11 when with Colorado fourth or R+13. I forgot, but it was close
yeah,
for its lean.
somewhere there. Somewhere in those
And
numbers.
yeah, Virginia too. I wasn't expecting that Higgins would go down, but since she's now entrenched there, she might be in the process of being entrenched that in future elections, unless she does something stupid like run for governor or senator, I don't know. I think Higgins would keep this seat
Oh
in
yeah,
assuming that
definitely.
the future years would be not like what D+10, D+12, but otherwise, I think she has this seat until she dies or until she wants to. But I'm not an expert, so maybe
Yeah.
Virginia too might flip in 2026, but we just don't know. So those are the 8 seats. that was eight, right? So that was the eight
Yeah,
seats that I was actually, I think, heartbroken is a very strong term, but probably disappointed that it didn't go other way. So that's the end of my segment. So I'll pass into whoever wants to go next.
oh, si Circuit, I do wanna know his thoughts on what house race. I know he's not a fanatic Democrat, not like the three of us, but I do wanna know what he thinks would be tightest the tightest house race in his view, that he might have been a little bit sad, a little bit, because like I said, he's not. Diba? Anyway, I think it was lagging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
I
so
lagging soon.
was
Ayun na,
the
okay na.
weather is not great right
right
now.
with Tran. I you should give me credit. I did give Derek Tran the
Oh,
win in a very tight one house race that I kind of regret is, and Kiggins was not really expected to lose that one, and
yeah,
well,
it wouldn't.
maybe it was a matter of accomplishments, and then uh, I don't know, was the Republican opponent charismatic or had a compelling message? Because I mean, Virginia too is not that swingy when it comes to the PVI, so that's the one I regretted the most. And also Alaska at large, but
Oh, yes.
Alaska at large, I also can. Yeah, that one. I mean, Alaska at large is. I know that the PVI also don't favor the Democrat there, but one could say that um, more coalition building needs to be done at Alaska at large. And what else? I guess Colorado 3 can also be one because I want Lauren Boebert to be defeated in the most brutal way possible. But
Unlike
she's
the time
so
she got
smart
caught.
that she left.
Yeah.
Yeah, she moved to another district because she was in fear for her position. So I
And
guess
the current house
Colorado
and the
3.
former house and the former house member there resigned because he was so disgraced of the Trump Republican Party. So
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
see, Ken
trouble.
yeah,
Buck. Ken Buck,
Yeah,
Colorado 5th, right?
yeah.
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 Anyway, sir, you can continue.
The other districts that Edric presented, the other districts that Edric presented were quite understandable, like Michigan 10. I mean, let's admit the fact that Michigan is now a hard state to win statewide because of a lot of issues, like economic issues. I mean, they blame a lot of the auto industry to President Obama, so the feeling of people there aren't that good anymore with the Democrats. Although one could say that the suburban voters are now leaning towards the Democrats, so it's like a trade-off. Like the working class counties of uh, Michigan are now red, while the suburban counties that used to be red are now blue. So that explains why Slotkin survived her election last year, even though that was very, very tight. So what's that? Ano yan?
Oh,
Macomb County.
Macomb.
Macomb, the Macomb
Macomb.
Macomb.
Yeah,
County.
Macomb. Yeah, yeah. So that one, that's one of the counties we're referring to. So yeah, that those were all understandable. So Virginia 2, Colorado 3, Arizona's house seats are. I don't think I would regret that because Arizona's a swing state. I mean,
Yeah,
if the DNC is so smart, they would not really play all of it. And since they do have the Senate, they have to protect Gallego and Kelly first before the House. I mean, I'm just saying this out of practicality, and many would hate me because I'm a real politic guy now. But that's the way it is. You have to protect your senators in a red state or in a leaning red state. Like in Georgia, they have to do their best to save Ossoff and um, Warnock. You know, I mean
Yes.
Georgia's
Or
still Georgia.
more like
Mm,
Senator
swing
Asa
state.
for next year.
Yes,
Yeah,
2026
and if Ossoff gets lucky, he might have a
president.
good name for himself, run for president, and win. I don't know. Maybe
Mm.
that's a good thing.
He's by the way,
We
he's
still don't
good
know
at.
that.
I want to give him credit. He's good at interpolating when it comes to committee hearings, given he was a former investigative journalist. So he has his bona fides as a former investigative journalist. So I'd give him that. And he brings back federal dollars in
Yeah, yeah,
Georgia.
yeah, and he can.
No, no, Edric, he's not
Yeah,
gonna
and he
be like
communicates
he
well.
may be he may be a hot guy, but he's not
Or
gonna get
get in a
enemies.
plagiarism scandal. I mean, let's give
I
the
was
guy
referring to
some.
Joe
I mean, cut
Biden.
out some slack from the
Ah,
guy.
okay, you got that.
I
Yeah,
was referring to
Biden.
Biden.
Biden did that. Biden did that, and he won. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
if
gonna be
Biden
president
ran
in
in
four
'88, he would
years.
have slaughtered Bush. Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
if Biden, I mean, I'm just saying this because I look into hindsights. Biden, if Biden faced Bush in '88, they would win. The Democrats would have won. But
Really?
Yes,
instead,
1888 was close.
Dukakis ran. I'm just specifying Dukakis because he was an outsider. Okay, he was everything that the Republican candidate wasn't. Okay, he worked his way to the top. Okay, he wasn't part of a family dynasty that got all the graces, but yet
Yep.
because of certain errors along the way, he shot himself in the foot and lost.
Yeah,
He only won 9 states, or I don't know. He won Washington, Oregon, and then some Midwestern states.
yeah, West
But that's
Virginia,
about it. He
Yep.
didn't.
Minnesota.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, West Virginia was
I think Iowa too. Also,
yeah, he won
Yeah.
Iowa. Yeah, he won Iowa and West Virginia because that was it voted blue no matter what before. Okay,
yes,
Before.
so yeah, I mean,
before.
like Vermont voted for H.W. Bush. It was a reliably red state before. Okay, so yeah, so going back, you have to learn calibration a lot, and as much as I want Dukakis to win, right? If we were in that era, we would have wanted him to win, but because he failed to resonate with the people and he didn't play the rough and tumble of politics, he lost. He didn't want
Yep.
to counter all of the fake news. I don't know if that's relevant for that era, but he didn't counter all of the baseless propaganda waged against him by the
Yeah, that's more
Republicans.
accurate. That's more
Yeah.
accurate.
I mean, and
But
going into a
yeah,
tank, I guess if they had a good, you know, if they had a good damage control team, that would have been salvage at least. I mean, that was the worst thing that was done in '88. So I'm just saying that Biden, if you commit a bad thing and then you remain long in politics, you're going to survive because you can change your image, right? Of course, it doesn't happen to all. Like Hillary Clinton, it didn't happen to her, but a lot of politicians might have that. So that's why Ossoff is like a dark horse for me because he can win whether we like it or not. He's young, so you got to get rid of the older dogs because their time has come. I mean, I agree with EJ that certain people needs to be primaried that are now senior
Chuck Schumer.
citizens that I mean, we have to
Chuck
move with the
Schumer.
it's
changes.
this it's
I
not
have to admit.
he agrees. Alright, the context here, he only agrees to me because they're old. Because they're old. Ano?
Yeah,
Senile.
jaded.
Not because they're controlled
Yeah.
by APAC.
No, that's just a far-fetched thing. I mean, the
Yeah, yeah.
Democratic Party houses the Jewish votes. So imagine if you, I mean, I don't know. the bad thing here is that the Democrats have the Muslim vote because it's a minority vote, and they also have the Jewish vote
Jewish
because
vote.
the yeah, the Democratic Party houses the Jewish vote for a long time. Kennedy Democrats vote. I mean, they housed the Catholics and the what they call that, the Jewish voters in that camp,
Yep.
and uh yeah, so it's hard to just take them down that easily unless Jewish people suddenly moving to the other camp, which I think is also plausible. And that's a
That is
good news
possible.
for the Democratic Party if the Jewish vote isn't solidly theirs, because they can really open up on the more humane exercise
Yeah. Oh yeah, his thought was lagged.
and condemn Netanyahu's regime outright. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
saying this. That's why. Am I back? Am I back? Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that I'm just being particularly realistic because they home a lot of people, and you know it's so difficult to find the most moderate word, amongst the crowd, and it
Yep.
takes a lot of study for us to say how can I say this to an Israeli American that I don't like your prime minister. I hate him to the bottom of my heart because he's a warmonger who kills people.
But
You
then,
can't. I mean, how
but
can
then,
you
sir,
say that in the most nuanced way,
but
right?
then that would be another day.
You can't.
That would,
Yes.
yeah. But then that would be another
Yeah.
topic
So,
for
which means
another
to say
day.
that's why I don't know I don't know what's gonna happen to the Democratic Tea Party because that's just putting things to the most impractical way possible, right? I don't know how jaded these people are because they're going to get rid of their establishment candidates, but they are going to see their candidates lose in a general, and that's more heartbreaking. As we have all witnessed,
Yeah.
it's more heartbreaking to lose in a general than in a primary because in a
It
primary most candidates would admit that there are just certain people better than them, or
it
outspent
happened.
them or
It
stuff.
happened to the Justice Democrats House candidates. Yung 2020 version on with when the Young
Mm,
Turks is hyping them up, all of that shit. they lo-
yeah,
almost everyone
yeah.
lost the primary who
I don't
joined
like
them
the Young
joined the
Turks ever.
Congress.
I
Yes.
know that some of the viewers they love the Young Turks, but I hate them. I don't know why. I can't even explain to myself why I hate the TYT net the channel. Yeah, and
Yeah.
their sports analysis are just, oh my god. It's like finally the Daily Wire got their counterpart on the left on that. It's bad, okay? It's just bad. Even their political, I mean, even their numbers are not good. Like when you watch the TYT, they often, of course, they build on the Democratic progressives, but they don't really look into the reality of it. You have to be honest to your audience, right? You don't put them in a pipe dream and then expect that all of it will come true. And that's why I hate hyper partisan networks. The Daily Wire, I hate them. I also hate the Young Turks as well because they represent the bad thing of the left and right. It's not good. It's not good discussion. Of course,
Yeah.
we
I
all have Netanyahu and Duterte would okay. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. I
yeah,
heard
hopefully
Hopefully.
so.
or I saw Tito Von's comment. I really hope they get to be buddies.
Yep.
But
Yep.
unfortunately, 2028 in the Philippines would be a I'm not gonna say it. I'm just scared of 2028. I don't
Yeah.
know what's
True.
gonna happen.
It's
So
either
yeah, anyways.
The,
someone returns
yeah,
to the Malacanang, or
yeah.
we're gonna get gunned down in the process.
What? What?
Ikaw, Andrew,
We're gonna get.
what would be the house races that you were saddened that the Democrats did not flip?
I I think the one race that I really paid attention to was John Avalon's New York one
Oh,
District
you're
One
first.
race. Yeah,
Yeah, tinutuya ako ni Sir Kurt John. He did tell me that he ain't gonna flip that shit. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I
very
didn't
sad to
flip it
listen
bro,
when
to.
I
you were
was
first
sad
win.
that he
I'm
didn't
so
win.
sorry. I'm so sorry, Dre. I know that you love him, but he's just. I
It's
don't know. I mean, he just lacked the things that he's t- teaching people. He didn't apply to himself. So I feel a little bit sad, a little bit disappointed, and 100%. You know, quote unquote, you must be out of your mind, quote unquote, like that. So, but yeah, I don't hate Avalon's personality, but you just have
I
to
mean,
be
fair enough,
brainy at certain times. Yeah.
fair enough, but I had personal investment on that race because John Avalon is a good CNN analyst, and I think he could have been a great congressman, but he chose to run in
Yeah,
the wrong district.
but I think he is. But I think he lives in the district, probably, or I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't really know.
He doesn't live in the district though. He
Ayun lang.
carpet bag.
Yun lang.
Yeah.
But yeah, also the Alaska one. Yeah, I almost forget it. I almost forgot it. That yeah, I am sad about that, but there's nothing we can do. Like like the baggage there really rode on to the Trump wave, or no, just kidding. No, no. He didn't rode on the Trump wave. He had his own family branding, of course. Of course, it's a baggage in Alaska. Like he'll win no matter. No, just kidding. Anyway, I'm talking
Beverages
gibberish here.
are
But
Democrats in
yeah, that,
Alaska though. So parang ang galing din. Ay, it's amazing that he won in Alaska's Republican as a baggage. But well, with
yeah,
the partisan lean of Alaska as being pretty Republican, so that was a no-brainer, especially that, well, Sarah Palin is gone. So
yeah. Of course, I'm so
there's
happy she's gone.
no vote sync for Nick
Politically,
Begich there, especially that, Sarah Palin and Nick Begich don't like each other.
yeah.
So
And
they
then
would
they
rather
split the
let
vote.
Caltola win, yes, than the other to win.
This yep. So the next question is who were the non-re-electionist Senate Democrats that you supported? Alam ko sa circuit walang sasabihin dyan eh. Pero ako meron, like, you already know who I did supported the most
Yes.
as a non-re-electionist.
Delaware and Maryland
It,
though.
in, ha?
Delaware and Maryland,
No,
let
no.
me guess.
No, 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 no.
Was
It's the most
who?
unwinnable Senate race to a Democrat
Oh wait.
as a
Is that
non-re-electionist.
supposed to be Nebraska?
Nebraska, yeah.
No, no, no.
Oh
Sorry.
Or
It
no.
was
Can I
Missouri.
can I can I give a
oh,
can I
Lucas
give a
Coons.
clue on EJ's?
Hindi na, nasabi ko na. Nasabi ko na. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I already
Sorry.
said.
The
Wrong
show
state,
me
wrong state.
state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ay, ikaw, Edric. Ikaw yung ano mo,
I am
yung saddest
writing
mo.
it right now.
Okay. Sige. Habang nagsusulat siya si Sir muna. Pero feeling ko wala yung masasabi. Baka masabi nga ni re-electionist. Kahit sige, re-electionist, sabihin mo na, Sir.
Yeah. Uh of course, I was gunning for my boy Tim Ryan in 22. I just wanted
Oh.
Vance to. I mean, Vance is the ultimate sellout, right? So you have
Yeah.
to understand my feeling. You don't make that person win. And then
Yeah.
the former president said that suddenly he said, I don't want to add into bad words here. So yeah, I was gunning for Tim Ryan, but yeah, unfortunately he lost. And he didn't even tank his campaign. I think he really failed on focusing on the merits of the Biden administration. I mean, he had
Oh shit.
an ad with the
A base.
football,
No,
so
football. Yeah,
I think that was effective in countering on, sorry, I was lost.
yeah. It's okay lang po.
Uh, he had a good ad, and then it captured into. But yeah, that's the only Senate election I can think of that a little bit. I mean, election was acceptable. It has been solidly red for the past
No, but
eight
I meant
years.
was the
So,
but I meant was
I
the
was a
2024. I meant was the
2024.
yeah. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I did. That's why
I
I did
thought
say
20.
Missouri.
I thought any of what
Sorry.
2024. I can't.
Sige,
I
okay
can't
na yan.
think of a
Okay na yan.
Senate race that I actually regretted. Yeah, okay na yun. Wag na lang na. What I have none.
Ah, alright. Si Edric, ang dami. Ah, why well, no, you're yeah, supported.
I mean,
Supported wala sa Sir no 24. Okay, got it.
oh
I got it.
well, it's these five
Ikaw ang
states,
dami.
not necessarily support like personal
Yeah. No,
personal
no.
investment, but like
Yep.
I expected this to lose, but
But
the margin wasn't
was
wasn't
the
satisfying.
margin was
It
7
hurt. It
points.
stung. Was it seven? I thought it
The
was
margin
nine.
was no, what I meant is from 2 points, it was an added win of 7 points.
Oh yeah,
Therefore
so
9.
it's a total of nine. So I mean, nine is still a great performance considering that what Texas ended up being in the 2024 election. But nine. I would have thought it would be like what 4, 5, but 9 point. Well, Arizona, Gallego, New Jersey, Kim, Delaware. I think this is also Brooks. I think, and then Maryland is. I
Well,
know Delaware
Delaware,
is Blunt Rochester, and then Maryland
yeah,
is also Brooks.
yeah.
Well,
But
these two could
then
be
Delaware is an
history.
outlier.
Why?
Outlier because because among the well, I'm not gonna count New Jersey in, but among the three of them, Delaware would be the obvious winning path for a Democrat or for a Democratic Senate candidate since it's an open
Oh yeah,
seat. So
yeah. These are all open seats, right? Open seats.
yeah, yeah, they're all open seats. But then the
Except
Delaware
Texas.
was the easiest one. The hardest
Yeah.
one was Texas. The another easy part was New Jersey. Okay,
Mm.
Maryland kind of hard because
Because
given
of
that former Governor
Governor Hogan.
Hogan, yeah, and Arizona, yeah,
Well,
for Titus because Carrie
it's
Lake.
Arizona. Especially what happened there in Arizona where Maricopa flipped red and then lots of movements of Hispanics towards Trump, especially with the heavily Democratic counties shifting like as far as I remember 10 points, 15 points toward Trump. So that was not a good sign for
Oh
Democrats
god.
in the state of Arizona. So
But
that's what
then
I think
at
those five.
least no, but then at least overall statewide, we still got a Senator Gallego, which I did predict
Yes.
that is gonna
I
happen.
mean better him than Cinema. So I guess that's a win.
Ikaw,
Carrie Lake.
Andre.
I don't know why Carrie Lake was very popular in Arizona. I just don't know. Okay, you may. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
same.
talk. No.
Also, as far as I know, Carrie Lake shouldn't run because she's the governor of Arizona, right? So she can't run for Senate.
Governor. Governor. Oh
Anyways, if
goodness.
is
Oh
there
goodness
anything
me.
for the
Yeah, ikaw
I
Jay,
think
what
it's
are
Bernie.
the what
Okay,
Senate race that you support?
one very obvious: Bernie Sanders.
Non-re-electionist.
Love non-re-electionist. I think
Yeah.
it's. I really wanted Ted Cruz to lose his Senate race because I really
Texas
hate that
talaga.
guy. I really hate that son of a bitch to the core. I would support anyone who would run against him. Even though I don't know much about Colin Aldrin?
Alred.
all red?
Aldrin. Pero I really hate Ted
He
Cruz, man.
played football. Yeah.
His father killed
4 years.
JFK and he's a sellout.
All right, we're not gonna go on this conspiracy matter here. That would be another time because we're talking about no. Don't
That
try
was a
and
joke. That
hate
was a joke. That
this.
was a joke.
Hindi naman ako monetize. I'm not being paid
Yeah,
here.
that's
I'm doing
nice.
this for passion. But yeah, again, like I said, like yeah, it was a saddening thing. Though I did say na after Senator Cruz won in 2018, I told to myself that he's not gonna be beaten by or he's not gonna lose by a tight margin next time. And it happened. Like I said, it's not gonna happen anymore. Or it did not happen anymore. So I guess we're gonna wait till
Te-
2030.
yeah, Texas is too rural for it to be flipped back. I mean, I think I've said this so many times. Like, couple of
Yeah, he's getting
couple
lags.
of decades before Texas becomes blue again. You know.
I blame Ethan for this. I blame Ethan for this, actually, for hyping Texas up. Sorry, sir, di namin narinig
Ethan,
ko yung
Ethan, which Ethan? Ethan LTE or
si
Ethan, a different
yeah,
Ethan?
no, it's
LTE?
LTE. Yeah, I
Oh,
blame him for hyping.
I haven't watched him in years.
Who do you blame?
See, let's
What?
talk elections. I blame him for
What did
hyping
he
up the
said?
Black's bullshit. I mean, in the past, he was saying
Well,
that
Ah,
Texas might.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
sorry,
haven't
I
watched him
don't
in
continue.
years,
watch
so I
L.
have no
I
idea
don't.
about that.
I haven't watched him in years too. I mean, the last time I watched him was 2016. I had to watch it
I
because
I think
I had to. Yeah.
I think the last one that I watched was the Virginia gubernatorial election. I think that was the last one. Then after that, I temporarily lost interest in this until the midterms. But by the midterms, I wasn't watching him. I think so. Yeah,
All right.
I wasn't caught up with the LTE hyping Blexus, but there were a lot of people hyping Blexus in election Twitter,
Yep.
especially when that Seltzer poll dropped.
Oh yeah, that's yeah
Harris plus
bullshit.
three.
Sorry, Miss Ann Selzer, but that polling
It's
was bullshit.
Yeah, it's either Anselzer was wrong or Texas will be blue. But yeah, Anselzer is wrong by about 17 points, which is very shocking in terms of polling itself because a margin of error that huge is pretty rare. No, no, not rare. Not unprobabilistic in terms of having an error that huge, which is 17 points. That's if my memory in terms of statistics is right. That is I forgot the term, but this is the symbol
What?
in
Great,
statistics. This
greater
symbol, I
than.
think no
Oh
no
shit! I
no.
don't know that.
This symbol,
Yeah, I
which
don't know.
is I forgot what it's called, but having an error that huge is like what less than 1% chance of happening. I forgot what it's
Yeah.
called. I'll write it here if I remember the term.
All right. Fair enough. So anyway, I guess would not be coming, or I don't know. I did botch the invitation because I didn't say it properly. I guess
Standard
there will be no next
deviation.
time. Oh, standard
That's what it's
deviation.
called.
Okay. Okay,
That's
yeah.
like
Now I
what
remember.
three standard deviations to happen, which is 1% or I forgot.
Oh Jesus. No, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's
So
okay. Okay.
let's just
Anyway,
move on with Texas. Yeah.
yeah, it's done. Though there will be another Senate election in 2026. I don't wanna I don't wanna talk about it for now because I don't know, the Senate race next year is not gonna favor Democrats, believe me.
Yeah,
I swear. The House Democrats might be in favor, but it's not gonna be a
yeah,
wide it's not gonna be a lot of seats to be flipped. I think they
yeah.
might flip 5 to 6. Probably I'm talking out here with no scientific basis, basically.
Yeah. But well, if it's gonna be a year like at least even just D+2, D+3, they're gonna flip a bunch of seats. It's gonna be a decent margin, but the days of Democrats having or any party for that regard having 230, 235, I think unless 2026 will be a similar year to 2018,
But
I think the ceiling now would be
I'm
just
afraid.
around 225 to 30.
Fair enough. Though I'm
Yeah.
afraid to say that, yeah, I'm afraid to say it might be 220 to 211 probably. I don't know.
They have
I may have made. I mean, I'm
they have lots
saying
of
that
tickets of opportunity though.
Democrats could have 220 seats, then Republicans could have 211, 210
Assuming
House
assuming
seats.
that assuming that Texas doesn't redraw, Ohio doesn't redraw, anything doesn't redraw, they do have
Oh
lots
yeah,
of tickets
definitely.
of
Oh yeah, but
opportunity though. Colorado
well,
8,
that
what
that
Michigan
the,
10, Wisconsin 3.
unfortunately unfortunately the Texas state legislature are now being called in a special
Yeah,
session by
I
Governor
mean,
Wheelchair.
oh yeah,
I mean, it could
By the way,
backfire though.
that's gonna net them 5 seats, but anything can
Wheelchair.
happen.
Wheelchair.
Maybe the gerrymander would backfire, but that's gonna happen only if the year is very good for Democrats in 2026, which is as of current polling, it's not. But yeah,
yeah,
they do
it's
have.
not.
We can list, assuming that they would win this across the board, but it's impossible if
Yep,
it's gonna be
it's
plus
too
five.
impossible.
It's the three Arizona seats, Colorado 8, the seat in California with Kim, Calvert, and Valadeo, and then
Young Kim ba yeah, Young Kim.
yeah,
Well, I
Iowa
did
first, Iowa
ne
third.
natata I wanna dig in on the House District of Congresswoman Young Kim because I did told Circuit that that seat is not gonna flip blue. I don't have any
Why?
scientific basis for it, but then I
Why?
was right.
Oh, in
It did,
2024.
yeah, it did not flip in
Well, that district
2024.
is pretty red down ballot, so especially that now I think the district did vote for Trump or it voted very
Yeah,
narrowly for Harris. So with that
Narrowly
dynamic,
for
yeah.
that.
Oh, but I see. So with that fundamentals, it's
I'm
not
sorry. I just
probably flipping.
'di ba? I just said I just told him that outright that it's not happening. But in former Congresswoman Michelle Steele's district, I cannot believe that would flip. I was so happy when I saw that. Like
Oh
all of
yeah,
us were
I wasn't
reacting.
expecting that he would it would flip. I didn't expect
Yeah,
that.
same. Yeah, same. Diba? But then
I
I think Sir got that right if
remember
I remember it correctly.
I think I think I was in the school
Yeah.
when the district did flip towards Tran, and I was in a cafeteria table there in my school, and I was just like, I'm just gonna redo the in terms of what happened. So I was in my phone checking because I think that was November 15, 16, right? It was pretty much a
Yeah.
week after the election. So I was just checking
Yep.
checking the California 47th district, right? Was it 47, 41?
No. 45th.
Oh, 45th.
45th.
So let me just redo what happened. So I just scrolling, and it was like I was I jumped from my seat when that happened. When I saw that it flipped. So
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
I
weird.
was silently being happy about that time. So yeah, anyway. Oh, anyway, last few topics are probably last two questions I wanna ask you guys is, well, you did answer the part that will there be an election blue wave for the House Democrats? Like we did say na we're suspicious or
Yeah,
we doubt about it. We doubt about it. So other uh yeah, I guess our guest for tonight cannot answer this because I did botch the invitation and I apologize to them. Seriously, I really apologize for not telling it in the DMs. So there'll be still next time, but not for you. No, sorry, Edric.
What do you mean not
Anyway,
for me?
I don't know, baka kasi maging busy ka na ulit, and 'di
Oh, I
ba?
mean,
So,
I won't have classes again until August. I mean September. When are you planning to do this again?
I don't know, matagal-tagal pa siguro. Probably next
Oh,
Saturday
shoot.
again.
Next
Hindi ko
Saturday.
lang
Wait,
sure.
next Saturday. Oh, that's
Yun lang,
exam for scholarship. So no, probably not.
yun
I'm
lang,
gonna
oo.
be reviewing. My head
Well,
is full of math right now, so
I'll try to
this is a good break.
I'll try to reschedule on Thursday. I'll have to talk with them separately
Oh yeah, I think
in
Thursday
the
is fine
DM.
if ever.
That's yeah, that's TMI that should not be said in public. But yeah, anyway, all right, last probably the last topic. Okay, this would be the last topic since si Sir nag-out na. We'll have this last topic, which is I'm gonna ask this one like uh who would saan ba yung question ko na yan? Um nope, 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 no shit. No, I'm just gonna ask on the 2028 now.
Oh
Presidential. I
sure.
know that's 3 years away. I get it. That's 3 years away. But
Yes.
I still want us to talk about this. Who would you want to be the I know we had debates on the GC, but then we're gonna say this in public. Like, who do you want to be the who's your dream tandem of being the Democratic presidential and vice presidential nominee? I would go first. Okay, before you guys, I did want Whitmer Ossoff because I wanted a balanced tandem of a governor and senator, a governor from the north, a senator from the south, and a governor for domestic policy and a senator for half domestic, half foreign policies. But now I'm leaning towards a Bashir Ossoff. It's not exactly a Clinton Gore tandem like it's not exactly a Clinton Gore tandem like Circuit had refuted me on, but they could be the new but then they are literally I don't know the new breed of the Democrats, transplanted Democrats from the South, probably. I don't know. So yeah, I'm now leaning towards a Bashir Ossoff because I think they're the winnable tandem, or they might duke it out in the primaries first, and then if one of them don't get the enough delegate vote and the primary vote, I think one of them would surrender and probably will either join the winning nominee as a vice presidential or might stay in the Senate. So yeah, that's my whole shtick of thinking.
Mhm.
Ikaw, so
Good.
I'll go with Edric first. What
I'll
do you think?
I'll go
Well,
Who's your
last for Fated.
sige,
sure.
sige.
Well, to be fair, it's not. I mean, I'm leaning towards Bashir Ossoff too, but it's gonna be a combination of these four people: Bashir, Ossoff, Walls, and Whitmer. Assuming that with Walls, he's gonna run a third term, and with Whitmer,
Well,
assuming that
she's
yeah,
gonna be
term
termed
limited,
out.
so she's gonna have to find a way to be relevant by 2028 because
Yeah,
politics,
definitely.
even just 1 year is practically forever in terms of politics. So a lot can change
Yeah,
in politics in just
definitely.
1 2 years. So it's a combination of four people. But let's add this question for a twist. Who do I not want to be the candidate? But well, of
Yeah.
course, maybe
Nominee. The nominee.
I don't want to be a
Sorry,
nominee now, but in
yeah.
2028, I would want to because, opinions change. You learn
Yep.
more about a person. So at this point, to be fair, I don't want it to be. I think I think you have an idea who it's gonna be. The governor
Hindi
of
ko lang alam kung
California,
sino
Gavin
unang
Newsom.
What? Bro.
I just don't think
I
he has
knew
the
it.
juice. I mean, maybe he has the skills to combat Republicans in terms of
In
fighting
terms of
fire with
messaging.
fire. Yeah,
In
in terms
terms
of
of
messaging.
messaging.
But I kind of fear that his record as
Governance.
a governor of California might take him down because
Yeah.
they would just
It's
highlight
what
the
I
bad
worry
parts
with.
of California, which is, in my opinion, unavoidable in any place that is huge like California. 40 million people. There's gonna be bound to be
Yep.
people who is poor, really, really poor, like living in the
Yep.
streets, living in a tent, drug
Yep.
addicts. That's gonna be given. It's not a matter of if a state is being
By a
run
Democrat
liberally
or
or
Republican.
conservative. Yeah, it's not a matter of being a liberal or conservative. It's gonna be there's just a lot of people there. So statistically, there's gonna be people there who would be like that, and it's gonna be a matter of how you would run
State.
your territory, your state, your province, or whatever. It's not just in the United States. I think this applies internationally that it's gonna
Yeah.
be unavoidable in terms of a crisis, especially if your system sucks, which is to be fair in the United States it does because healthcare is
Yeah.
already expensive. Everything is expensive.
Yep.
Another person that I wouldn't want to be the nominee there, I would say it's Warnock
Oh.
because he's running is he's gonna abandon the seat in Georgia. I think the difference between Ossoff and Warnock is that Ossoff is not up in 28. Warnock is. So if,
Oh
for
yeah.
example, he runs for president and then it flops, that might be a drag
Yeah.
for Warnock.
Yeah. His political career is goodbye. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
banking as well on Senator Warnock for Democratic presidential nomination either.
Mm.
I'm not saying this because I don't want any black guy to
Yeah,
be president.
that's not my rationale.
Remember they had
Cancel
President
EJ.
Obama, former President Obama, and then
Yeah,
he didn't even had a full Senate term. Remember,
yeah,
let's remember that. I
yeah.
guess what
That's
I meant
why
is the political vibes is what I'm saying that I mean he's a good politician, no doubt
it's
about it.
gonna be the
But
optics. That's
then
gonna be the problem.
yeah, and then he
And
comes from Georgia.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
Also,
sorry. I don't want
that's why my third person is Senator Kelly because
Oh yeah,
same reasons
definitely.
with Warnock because he's up in 2028 and as being state seat. So if 2028 might not be a good of a year for Democrats like 2024 or even worse, then if there's gonna be this baggage of they run for president, it flops, then if time permit, they would run for their Senate seats again. That's gonna be a baggage. That's gonna be a penalty at least of a
Though
point or two
though I
in
think
terms
he
of their
would
vote
be
share.
spotted. I think he would be an asset of a vice presidential candidate. I think.
Oh yeah,
I think he has
vice
the bona
presidential,
fides.
that's fine.
He has the
But
vote.
if
He has the bona fides.
yeah, but
But
if it's
then
gonna be something like a presidential run that will flop, then that's gonna be a penalty in terms of votes. That's gonna be
elect.
1 point,
Oh,
2
yeah,
point,
definitely.
which might you know be a major difference.
And
And
who
there's
will
gonna
be
be
his
this.
replacement? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's also that. So this is gonna be the last, and this is gonna be outlandish, and I might get hate for this, but hear me out. I do not want
It's,
AOC in 2028.
oh yeah,
No,
definitely, definitely. Sorry,
I do not.
Boss Red. I know you want her to be
But
a president,
because,
but okay, yeah,
but
go
because I
ahead for
think
your
she's too
rationale.
young. I think 2028. I think she's just what 34, 35 years old now, right?
Yeah, yeah,
AOC.
35.
But
Yeah,
I think she still has a
or
good 10
36.
years in the house. I think she's gonna do more difference as a New York representative or even a senator if he chooses to primary
Oh
talk to
yeah,
her in 2028.
yeah.
Yeah.
She should.
Also,
Yeah, I do advocate her on primary
why,
senatorship.
why,
But
why is that? What's that laughter? Maybe
Oh,
later
yeah.
yan
he
na.
would say
Ayan na,
why.
ayan na.
Maybe he would say why
Uh,
later.
yeah,
Why?
I'll
What?
say why later because I approve of that. I guess we don't want, I don't want to say the word, but yeah, we don't want that kind of person now because it's not,
For now.
it's just, no,
But
no, I
yeah,
mean, I
2028.
want AOC to run for the Senate, but not president yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wishing too much. Yeah.
yeah, because
Yep.
2028 AOC has many paths that you can take. You can stay in the house and gain seniority.
Governor
You can go into the Senate,
or
governor, maybe
governor for that
2030,
matter.
2030, because they elect governors in
Yeah,
midterm years.
since
So
since and then since there's still a lot of counties in New York that are red,
Mhm. Yeah,
unfortunately, whether we like it or not. And then down the south, other counties, yung part na Long Island and other,
it's
yeah,
winning Republican.
yeah, it is, diba? So
So
yeah,
basically,
so
I mean,
yeah,
I think AOC could handle her own weight in New York statewide. I think she's skilled enough to carry herself. But of course, it might be a given that compared to like the performances of Cuomo, the performance of Spitzer, and practically the Schumer before 2022, Gillibrand, it's not gonna be a huge Democratic
yeah,
win. It may
and
be like
that's why
what, 10 points, 5 points. So
so yeah, she needs to
mm,
prepare more, and she probably
yeah,
needs to travel more outside. No, I'm saying this as a, how, as her duty as a house member. Like like for me, she also needs to travel to other counties of the state, not just
yeah,
being stuck in the Bronx.
if she were to vie for a higher position, I think that's a good idea
Yeah.
to visit other counties. But I think she's getting kind of uh, on fire for it because she missed some votes about aid to Israel, aid to Taiwan. She wasn't in the house because she was in other places. I
Look,
think other
okay.
counties.
I but then at the same time, she still want to localize herself as a
Oh
legislator.
yeah,
Though
of
in terms
course.
nga lang sa Palestine and Israel, that's another thing, which
No,
is,
I
I
mean
don't know,
that's
probably she's being
no, I mean you saw the MTG amendment about giving aid to Taiwan and Israel, if in terms of getting it, which failed for 23-6.
Oh yeah.
But one of the people who wasn't
Yeah.
able to vote
No.
was AOC because she wasn't in the chamber at that time. So yeah, that's what I was saying about getting being on fire on, at least I guess on Twitter, in terms of being not present, at least by leftists, I
That
think.
that
But
that is
yeah, I
so
should.
that is so OA. That's so overacting to some. But
But
yeah,
yeah, I think in terms of 2028, AOC could gain seniority in the House or
transfer in the
primary,
Senate.
sure. But president,
Senate,
I
yeah.
think she's too young for that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
The political talent
Beating
is
I
wasted for me.
Schumer
Sayang,
is
it's a waste.
beatable now. Yeah. Yeah, Schumer's
Yeah.
beatable now, so
Remember,
she should do
remember
what
he lost.
I'm remembering something I don't want to say here, but yeah. You wait till the person gets old and you get to the mayor's office. That's all I can say.
Putang ina. Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, here's the Democrats that I don't want to be presidential nominees. First of all, former Secretary Buttigieg. Okay,
Oh
I'm saying
yes.
it outright.
Bro has
But
zero
he can be a
black support.
but he can be a
Zero.
good
Oh
DN.
yeah, zero.
He can be a good DNC communication strategist. In
Yes.
all honesty, he can
Probably
be a
a
good.
DNC chair or what do you call this?
No,
Spokesperson?
I would label, yeah, I would label as a communication strategist of the DNC. I would favor him on that. Next
Yeah.
sino pa ba, sino next ko? Si Governor Newsom. Yeah, like I said,
Oh yeah.
I like the guy with a political charisma, but governing wise, like Edric said, it's he made California into more shithole country. But then it's not really this fault. But then
It's not
at the
his
same
fault.
time, I mean, the national trends economically, okay.
Yeah. I
Though
think that's
he has
inherent
the
for
right,
a
but then he has the power to control something economically that will benefit Californians. Remember that.
he can do something but he's not
Next,
doing anything.
next is probably Governor Westmore. I don't know,
Oh.
but I had
Oh no.
Uh,
may
Bro,
umaalma.
bro was endorsed by George Clooney.
he has
Well, I don't
potential,
know
but
much.
he needs experience, I guess.
He
Fair enough.
still need an experience. He's just a one-term governor of Maryland. Like,
Also,
do they really
also,
want? Do they really want an Obama-esque type of
also the fact
nomination? It's not happening. The
also Westmore
landscape has
doesn't have
changed.
any political experience before being governor of Maryland, as far as I remember. He doesn't have any
Yeah,
experience before. So
Yeah.
basically, he's just the governor. Then before that, nothing.
Like
So
I did thought the nominee would be former Secretary Perez, the former DNC chair, the former Labor Secretary for
oh,
President Obama. Yun talaga yung
mhm.
nakala ko. Next is, well, sino pa ba? Well, Representative AOC, yes, I want her to be a senator. Pure ano dun, pure dream. Uh, full speed ahead. Senator Kelly, yeah, no, no, no. No, no. Sino pa bang ayokong ano?
Andrew Cuomo.
Governor, well, irrelevant na siya, dude. He's not gonna
Who?
run for president.
Who?
So, yeah.
Governor
You
who?
can bet, Governor Cuomo, sabi nga.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
then,
he won't. But
he's
I
not,
hope he doesn't.
diba? So, anyway. So, yun. Yung mga favorite ko pa, well, Governor Bashir. Alright, I'm leaning towards Senator Ossoff probably. Governor Whitmer. I mean, at first I was a Whitmer stan, but then given how former VP Harris lost last year, sabi ganun eh. No, but I'm not. This is not a dig on Governor Whitmer. I'm just afraid if VP Vance might trounce her. Hypothetically, if they ever meet up as the nominees in the 2028. So, yeah. Ikaw, sige, si Andre na. I'm sorry. I talk my ass a lot again, but which is I
No,
need
that's
it. So,
totally
yeah,
EJ,
fine.
you
Andre, you
know
can
this
go.
answer, EJ. Who is the one person that I really want to run? You know this.
Well,
Kennedy?
they can
Kennedy.
run, but
Kennedy.
No, 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 no. N-
they,
The most illogical person you could think of right now.
Is this a
well,
Kennedy?
yeah, it is. It is. It
Wait,
is.
is this
It's,
the one who lost to Ed Markey
Yeah,
yes,
that's the
in
guy.
yes,
That's the
yes,
guy.
yes, yes,
Joe
Joe
yes,
Kennedy
Kennedy
yes.
was
forever.
It's a joke. It's a
of
It's a
joke.
joke. It's
course.
a joke. It's a joke.
It's a
No,
no, but
that's
seriously,
That's
understandable.
a joke. But I really
Joker,
want Kennedy
Joker,
to run
sorry,
for president in the
Joker.
future. Not the junior type. I really hate that guy. Pero the one
Wait.
person that I think should
Oh,
run
who?
is the one person you all hate.
not run, dude.
No, no, no.
You should have said nominee, not to be the
Nominee. Sorry,
nominee
nominee.
because
Nominee.
not candidate
Um, uh,
because they're all gonna run.
Newsom. I really think
Talaga,
Newsom
nga.
could actually win
I,
the
I don't
presidential
I don't hate
game.
him, but he's not elected now.
Okay, okay. Hear me out, guys. I may be
Oh,
insane.
sige. Fine.
I may be
Not in
insane.
this era. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Pero
Let's just listen in.
Sure.
Newsom is literally the leader of opposition right now. He is literally facing Trump head on in California. Even though even though he has a bad track record in California, illegalizing homeless people. Yeah, I do not like that. Pero one, he's a good communicator. Two, he's really charismatic. And three, he is he is the guy that Trump hates the most right now. Even though I do not like his track record, but I really think he could beat someone like Vance, for example, the most uncharismatic vice presidential candidate you can ever conceive, even more so for the presidency. Like the Democratic communicator versus the couch effer, who would win in that race? I think it would be Newsom. Pero
Though,
you can disagree with me on that one.
though
What's
I
this?
hate to say this to you, dude. I hate to say this to you, dude, but look at this open source zone. It was
It's
made by
still for
SoCal Strategies.
it's still 4 years ahead, guys. Let's
No, I
just
Yeah, I
hope for
mean,
know,
the
but
best.
no, I mean, I think the track record of California or Gavin Newsom in California would be enough to sink him, because if the Republicans would just spam, even though it might be not in Newsom's control, but it's happening under Newsom's California. Yeah,
he's a good political punching bag for the Republicans. In
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah,
honest,
yeah.
I'm really
He's
I
he's
sorry.
the
honestly
punching
agree.
bag,
Yeah,
so there's gonna
he's
be a
gonna
lot
be
of
an
baggage for him.
open
So
bullet.
yeah, he's gonna be a person with a lot of baggage in terms of running for president. They would just go buy
Oh yeah,
every ad
I
slots and
forgot
then
another
show
person who
the
I don't want to be
California
the nominee.
is under this,
I forgot
that, it,
I forgot the
on the
other
new song.
person who I don't want to be nominee for the
Who is it?
Democrats.
Who?
Kamala Harris.
It's the
Oh,
Jewish
Shapiro.
Obama.
I forgot about him. I actually
So
do not
if mapano
want him to.
alam ko mapapanood ni Jaire to
Ben
after
Shapiro.
we end this live. I know
Josh
Jaire would watch
Shapiro,
this
yeah.
after after we
Ben
end
Shapiro.
this live stream. So I'm sorry, Jaire, in advance, but Governor Shapiro is a liable asset as well in the Democratic Party. Okay. Oh, another person who I wanted to be nominee, probably lang for now. In terms of campaign funds, Governor Pritzker. He's the richest Democratic governor of them all.
Here, here,
Given that, huh?
here, here.
Sino? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, in terms of the spending of the money, okay, he's the new Bloomberg, but younger.
Basically, he's Trump's Democrat right now.
He's not Jewish. Sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, yun yung mga gusto ko na Governor Whitmer, Bashir, Senator Ossoff. Siguro si
Wait,
Governor
is Dre
Waltz, let's
done?
see. Hmm?
Is Dre done, or he might
Oh,
have
yun
something
lang.
else to say?
Oh, sige,
Oh,
Dre, sige.
I'm good.
Okay ka na?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Alright, so we give the final word to Sir Kurt
yes.
since our guest won't be here. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said. So we can end the stream soon because yung sa Senate election primaries next year na yon mapag-uusapan, okay, next year na yun. So anyway, sir, you can take it,
Yeah,
you can
can
have
I?
the last word for the 20, yeah,
Yeah.
for this last
I
topic.
don't wanna. Yeah, I don't wanna hold on to it. Yes, we have.
Choppy.
Is it okay now? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Well, it's still static. Also, my camera just
Yep.
failed. That's nice.
Bullshit. Oh yeah, bumalik na yung camera mo. I told them that
It was
I
glitching
would
earlier, light.
uh yep,
Oh
it
no,
was
it's gone
glitching.
again.
Yep, it's gone again. It's crap. We're gonna wait for him to come back para at
No, yeah,
least
we can wait for him. Oh no, it's gone again.
Guys, you
land
want
na
to
nag.
talk about the Coldplay concert for a bit?
What?
The
Alright,
Coldplay
fine.
concert.
Sige, we can dig on that.
Wait, I didn't hear the topic. What is it again?
The Coldplay concert.
Coldplay, kagaguhan ng
Oh, sure,
Coldplay.
yeah. That's funny
Fine,
as
sige.
heck. It replaced the Darling. Oh, wait. I'm not gonna sing it. This stream might be copyrighted if I do sing the meme. But yeah, it's starting to replace that meme in terms of how much I see the song in terms of my IG reels. It's just Coldplay songs now. Like probably 30% is Coldplay songs, then 20% is the Jet to Holiday meme. But okay, go on.
I kind of love the fact that out of 1,000 people in the stadium, they caught the cheating CEO in front of 4K camera in a random
I
concert,
I
man.
I would well, for me I would categorize it as flirting, not outright cheating though.
But still, though,
At least that's for me.
they wouldn't never have been caught if they acted like it was fine,
I mean, they
bro.
acted really really guilty about it when they got in the camera.
Yeah,
And
when
the
the
Byron
camera caught them.
like collapsed to
Yeah.
the floor, and the girl hid her face. So I think they're toast. They were toast from from the moment that the camera got into them. So they just realized that no, the the cheating has been exposed. So yeah, so that's gonna be the end of them, especially if it's gonna be a huge scandal, especially that Andy Byron is the CEO. And I would just like to add that, I mean, people have been saying in the internet that typically cheaters have low IQ because they should have acted normally, so they wouldn't have been accused, not really accused, or give the idea that they are cheating with each other because their spouses, according to this one tweet that I saw on Twitter, their spouses aren't watching the Jumbotron and Coldplay 24/7, so they wouldn't have been seen there in the first place.
Hmm.
It reminds me of the episode in Modern Family where, yeah, the Jumbotron was showing. I mean, this dude kissed the wife of his. I don't know. This
Stepson.
dude kissed the, yeah. That's, you get the idea. It's Modern Family. It's a good show. So I just mix up the words. But yeah,
You know
I
what's
took, sure.
you know what's
Go
embarrassing
on.
about this? He was
What
caught
is it?
in
What?
a Coldplay concert in all of in
Well,
all
In
yeah,
all the places.
so cold
yeah,
at Coldplay concert.
I did said sa GC kanina walang hiya din 'tong mga members ng Coldplay minsan pala. I can't believe. I mean,
Look at this show.
I'm not saying this to personalize the issue, but I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of pissed, I think, on their attitude when it comes to of giving people the publicity that sometimes they don't deserve, but some, I don't know, it's a dilemma given how they give. Remember, guys, binigyan nila ng ng publicity si President, na nag-helicopter from, I don't know, from the air base sa Pasay, from the Villamar Air Base up to sa ano, Philippine Arena, right? I mean, did he, I don't know. Yeah, he did ride the helicopter. So anyway, yeah.
You know,
Sige, Andre,
you know
you
what they
can
say.
Yeah.
continue.
Can I be heard? Am I heard
Ah, sige.
properly now?
Yes,
Yes,
Or
yes, yes.
yes, you can.
Yes,
yeah,
po.
yeah, yeah. Just to finalize everything, I'm not counting out any because first of all, it's a matter of building your coalition and then keeping track of your let's just say winnability, okay? Because that's how elections are done. So the people that are, in my opinion, are less likely to win in this scenario in 2028 is
If they ever get to be nominee.
number one is Pete Buttigieg. Oh my god.
Hmm?
Narinig ko yung bulong na yun, na ang
Oh my
bagal
god.
Be the
talaga.
judge. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and
yeah, the
see,
weather is not really
I'm
great, so that's
and
fine.
I'm so glad I don't live in NCR because NCR internet connection sucks ass.
It really sucks, especially with the weather. It's raining so hard in NCR right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Manila.
it's y- yeah, okay. Going back to what I've
Continue,
said,
continue.
I'm not counting out anybody because it's a matter of machinery, it's a matter of building your coalition. So the first person that's not gonna have that is Pete Buttigieg, number one. Number two is Gavin Newsom, and number three would probably be. I know that you would push back on this. Tim Walz might not get that because of his limited, resources and all. But the three people that are going to have that luxury is number one, Bashir, Ossoff, and I know you're also going to question this, but yeah, Shapiro might get that because of the Jewish
Oh
base
my
that he
god.
has.
I would agree
So
on
Fair
that.
enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair
yeah,
enough.
I'm just saying this
It's
because
possible.
again, Newsom over Shapiro. Shapiro can easily keep Newsom alive and then Pritzker on the other hand, I see him as a vice presidential candidate, and I can also see Warnock having that same pedigree. And then uh, get the mic. Can I be here properly now? Yeah. Pritzker is a good VP pick. Same goes with Warnock, and Kelly could be a good VP. That's the three VP people I can see. Um, when it comes to Whitmer, Whitmer can be the uh, dark horse of this if she plans to run. I don't. I just see that if Vance plays dirty, she will be in deep trouble if she doesn't have a good damage control team. People underestimate a damage control team, but it works a lot in an election, especially if you're being attacked on all sides. So she could be the dark horse, and another dark horse could be Westmore. But the thing is with Westmore is that he is limited on name recall, and nobody actually, you know, nobody optimizes on Maryland that much because it's a safe blue state. So most of the time, VP candidates are uh, picked based on their assets in the presidential ticket. You know, like for example, moving back to Clinton and Gore. Gore was picked because he was an accomplished senator, and at the same time, he belongs in a swing state at the time. Okay, so another one would be Biden. Biden was from a state, Delaware, but he does have roots in Pennsylvania, which was at the time was contested by Republicans. Okay, so eh, that play has to play into that, and I guess the dark horse candidates are limited on their general appeal. So let's bet on Bashir, Ossoff, and Shapiro on that. Okay. Um, Newsom, I'm unfortunately Dre. I'm not giving him a chance because of the California thing.
Fair
But
enough.
but if the economy does well in the certain years to come, and then he can erase all of the issues, he
At
might have a
least
chance because
at least
he's
Team
good.
Devil.
Yeah, he has a good thing going for himself. So Buttigieg cannot be. I think Newsom has a more chance of rebounding than Buttigieg because number one, let's just admit that in this reality, if you are a member of the LGBT community in the United States, you're still not going to be accepted by the general mass, uh, regardless if what's your opinion on that. It's really not going to work in the most smoothest way possible. Okay. On the other hand, who's the third one I mentioned? See, uh, the third one that
Sino ba?
unlike Walls,
Governor
Walls has
Walz.
a limited appeal, unfortunately, but he can galvanize locally in the grassroots. And actually, he between him and Vance in the debate, I saw him. He did not do well as expected. He somewhat lost in that debate. So
He
he's,
was
Okay,
he was
he's
struggling to
he
keep
has
up.
what?
He was struggling to keep up.
Yeah, he was struggling to keep up, and you know, uh, he might be better off in Minnesota. Or other if he wants to run somewhere else, he could. But Tim Walz has a he has a let's just say his heart is in the right place,
The right place.
but in the action it's not matching well. So
Remember,
that Ossoff
presidential
is good.
candidates in I just want to joke this first. Na presidential candidates in Minnesota, we all know what happens to them.
Yeah,
yeah, here,
Mondale
here.
lost a lot
Mondale.
in 1984. Yeah,
Anyway, I'm so sorry. Anyway, you
Monday
can
lost
continue,
in
sir. Yeah.
1984, who's and Hubert Humphrey lost in
1968.
1968. Yeah,
Yeah.
He almost
I'm
won though.
sorry.
Mm.
Barely even
It
lost.
was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
but
he
was
won.
quite close, but
It was
yeah,
quite close.
electoral vote no.
No.
yeah,
Yeah,
lalo na sa
because
state electoral votes. So my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
He lost
Anyway,
on
I'm so
Johnson,
you
sorry.
guys.
Johnson kind of deceived him. But he did
Yep.
help him in the end because Nixon was bogging the Vietnam talks. So
Yeah.
you don't piss Jumbo Johnson like that. So yeah, he
Jumbo
went
Johnson.
he went back to old love and said, "You know what, Hubert? After all, you're gonna get Texas, but lost the election." But anyway, that's just a joke. Anyway, yeah,
So in all
that's the three
seriousness,
people that are red flags. And then the three people that have A or sauce are Alsop, Bashir, and Shapiro.
Shapiro.
Bashir
Yep.
could have the same elements of a Bill Clinton,
Yes, he
and
could.
John
But
Kennedy,
pero
and
but
Hey.
wait, wait.
but you have to change with the times. You don't want a womanizer again in the office, which Bill Clinton was. That's just an honest moralist assessment.
Yeah.
Shapiro is good. I think he governs well, but yeah, if he's being dragged to the question about Palestine, then yeah, that's a problem.
And well,
That's
not just
something that
Palestine,
the
the
handler needs to
anti-Semitism.
figure out.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, Jewish
and
being Jewish is already a baggage for this situation. I mean, this environment.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, he can lock in the Midwest for the Democrats. That's why I picked him because
Okay.
Whitmer, I mean, female presidential candidates, as we have seen, are easily punching bags too, whether we like it or not. So I
Yeah.
also have the same fear with EJ. Like Whitmer's good; she has the pedigree,
Bona
but
fide.
yeah, Fox News just and Newsmax can just literally get a story from a canal and make it real. So the
Remember,
damage
another
control team,
thing. Another, another thing on Governor Whitmer. She hid her face with a
Oh
folder
yeah,
on the Oval Office. That's why I'm
yeah.
getting wary to her. That's why I'm shifting now. For now, I'm in the
That's
Bashir
gonna hurt
train.
him in 2028. Gonna hurt her in
oh yeah,
2028.
Her,
that's something that's workable here in the Philippines because humility is the good here, but in the US you have to be strong-willed also. Yeah. Because that worked for a senator I know, and she won. I'm not gonna tell you who that is, but you will
i-DM mo
have
na
to
lang.
drag three horses from me to tell you who that is. But anyway, yeah,
Ayan.
she
No,
has to be
anyway,
strong
never
with.
mind.
Person has to be strong with.
Yeah,
Wag na not, I'm not gonna say the word. I'm not gonna
yeah.
tell you who that is. You just have to figure it out for yourself. So
All
that
right,
you
fair
have to
enough.
be strong-willed and you need to be tough as nails as well. The projection, at least, in
Yeah.
the optics
Yes.
category. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, that's it. That's it.
s-
I'm not
so
judging
wait,
all of I'm not judging all of them. I'm just saying what I think the public thinks about them at large. So
yeah, definitely.
anything can happen. Yeah.
Pero yung tandem that ikaw Edric, what tandem you wanted for like I said, yung
Well,
ako like
yeah.
nasabi ko na, share Ossoff
When,
na
I
for me.
mean, I said the Bashir also too, but I'm fine with any combination of Bashir, Ossoff, Whitmer, and Walls. If that's what I said, yeah,
Yeah,
those four. So either combination of those four. But if there will be a choice of who's gonna be top of the ticket, it's hopefully Bashir and also those
yeah,
two others would be better
I
off
do
as vice
believe
president.
I do believe in my heart that they're the last saviors of the Democratic Party against a
Yeah.
millennial VP couch sexing husband of an Indian wife turned Catholic. I'm
Bro,
sorry
he
to
is not.
say that in the
Vance is not winning, bro. No matter what, he is not winning.
well,
Oh,
well,
we
all right.
cannot be that
Be careful
confident.
with your
Yeah,
We
words.
cannot be certain to that.
yeah.
I'm
Nangyari na
saying this now.
Donald
I'm
nangyari
saying
na
Trump
this
to
now.
sa
was laughed
Donald
upon,
Trump.
and he's now the overlord of the party of the other side.
yeah.
So
Bro, I'm saying this
Diba?
now. I'm saying this now. Vance cannot win in the general election. Why? He F's, he F's couches. Two, he is a turncoat, was a rhino, then turned to a Trumpist. Three, like EJ said, his wife, he is not appealing to the MAGA base anytime possible, and he's kind of uncharismatic in a way that no one really wants to be
Yeah.
him to be president.
yeah, but okay. Here's the deal. He may not win 2028, but somebody else can fill up the void, and that's even
Yeah.
worse. You don't want a guy
Mm.
from Florida
O
from
sige,
the United
o sige,
States. Yeah.
sige, last na yung sa presidential primary ng Republican naman. Yun na yung pinaka-last ko. Anyway, yun nga. So anong tandem mo pala, Dre? What would be your who you want to be Governor Gav's vice presidential tandem if he ever becomes the nominee 3 years later?
If he ever becomes the nominee, I swear to God, I will literally cry. I would place him with someone with Ossoff and Bashir, so the ticket would be balanced from the north, from the west to the south, liberal, moderate, more appealing to battleground states. You know what I mean.
Alright, fair enough. Ikaw, sir, dun sa nabanggit mo pong tatlo kanina na presidential, who do you
Ah,
want them?
okay. Okay.
Medyo malayo pa
If
pero mas interesting kasi 'to kaysa sa midterms
yeah,
next year.
if this year wins, you do need a progressive vice president. I mean, to balance the ticket out. If Bashir wins the nomination, if Ossoff wins the nomination, I have to say, let's gamble for the Clinton-esque type or Kerry-esque type. So pick someone from the North Carolina, Virginia area. No, I'm really serious. If Ossoff wins, okay, why? Because
Okay.
uh, uh, the moderate suburban voters are going to be viable once Ossoff wins. It's not going to be the same if Bashir wins because Bashir would be totally attacked by the progressive groups already. You can actually anticipate that from the start. So pick a progressive if it's Bashir, pick someone from the south if it's Ossoff, and then if it's Shapiro, oh my God, pick someone from the west probably, like
God
from
help us.
Ca- Arizona. No, not Newsom.
Yeah,
I Newsom's not that of a
No.
stupid person to go down like that.
I know.
Uh,
yeah. He
Arizona,
has
and then,
presidential
Sw-
ambitions.
yeah, he will not stoop down to being
Andre,
vice president.
Dre, Dre.
Yeah,
He had gone to South Carolina the other day.
Yeah.
There's pictures of him going in South Carolina.
I
He's
know,
positioning himself, and Governor
bro. I
Bashir is
didn't see.
already positioning himself in the South Carolina primaries for Democratic presidential primaries. So
Yeah,
there's the
so here's the
catch.
deal.
I
Yeah,
didn't suggest Newsom
if
should be vice
it's
president. By the way,
Shapiro, if
If
Shapiro
Shapiro,
becomes the nominee, it's going. You have to pick someone from the West Coast. I think
yeah,
I
that
I
will
would bet my
placate
bottom
the
dollar it might be Senator Kelly.
fair enough.
probably so. But they're both moderate to center, so well. Anyway, anyone from
Um,
the West can placate
yeah.
just to
Or
placate the
Senator
people of
Gallego.
the. Is he too early for that? I've bet that he's too early for that, though. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Anything can happen. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm just saying all of the perspectives because I did work for elections myself, so I know to anticipate where the attacks would come and who would be behind it, and you need to prepare for it as soon as possible. You don't want to
Yeah,
be
especially
labeled
for the
something.
Democrats
Yeah, you don't want to be labeled something that isn't
as
you, right? So
communist.
we have to we have to the Democrats must learn the damage control of Clinton, the technicality or the crassness of answers of the Gore campaign, and also the the um, magnanimous campaign of Obama in a wait. Let's not replicate the 1988 2004 campaigns. That was
Oh
bad.
no,
Okay? You
that
don't
was
want a
bad.
guy screaming. Okay, you don't want a guy screaming and winning everything. Okay? So you know who I'm talking about. So that was Howard Dean, screaming. Okay? Because he thought he can win all, and oh my lord, the you ended up with a guy that's militarily savvy but very boring, and you continue to vote for W. So we don't want to do that. 8804
Yeah,
X 92
yeah.
76 08. What else did I say? 2000, yeah.
But
Because
yeah,
2000 was
2000.
a contested election. I don't want to blame Gore for his loss on that. It wasn't his fault. It was out of his control. So I think the Gore campaign was successful in messaging. They just lost in the counting, probably. It's
Yeah,
Eagle knows this. Up to this day, I am debating myself. Should I admit to myself that he lost Florida, or there was something
Uh,
wrong in the prisoners' votes? No,
I
I
don't
until
no.
know.
to this day, I still
He,
protest myself.
the the brother helped.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that I
Family always
wanna
comes.
believe that too. But yeah. So yeah, I believe that the 2000 campaign was good in answering how they would, spend the surplus, sorry, of the budget. So yeah, the
Yeah,
Democrats must focus on their strengths, not focus on that will drag them down, because
yeah,
they should
especially on the
learn from
culture
their
wars.
mistakes.
Yeah,
If I was part of the
Yeah,
DNC,
they
I would tell them that I'd surrender the culture war for now. Let's focus on the economic aspect and the financial aspect of the American people, especially in rural America.
yeah,
Ipamukha nila sa mga
yeah, yeah,
Republican legislators sila on how much they're being stranglehold to death, physically and metaphorically, by the Republican legislators they're voting for, and for the Republican
yeah.
governor they're voting for.
yeah, I agree. I
But
agree
the,
with EJ on this one.
but, but the problem is, the Republicans are both attacking them culturally and economically. So they just have to find the right
That's the rub.
words to say. Not like, for example, abortion. You should focus on the freedom narrative rather than the
Mm.
rights narrative, like what was done in Kansas. So I'm just saying, like, I mean, they
Yeah,
both do it. They don't attack them only economically, but also culturally. Like now, Project 2025 is rolling, even
yep.
in this side of immigration. So, I mean, they have to have the proper words. And I guess
Release
they have to
the
moderate. In winning the culture war, they need to moderate. Like, for example, in immigration, you have to come here legally and respectfully. Okay? Because
Yeah,
what the other party is doing is that they don't want you to come here ever. They're just masquerading it as part of their protection of the border, but they really don't want you here. But we want you to come here, but you have to be law
follow.
abiding and embrace America for what it is. Don't expect anything more. That's it. You know, by winning the culture war, you moderate. You
Yep.
don't force the issue. That would sound like a purist. Purists don't
Though remember, some Republican governors
win
sent those
elections; they
illegal
lose
immigrants in,
them
Oh yeah, in New
all the
York.
yeah,
time.
in New York, in
I
Martha's
can stand
Vineyard,
by that
by
claim, and I'm not gonna back down from that claim. So,
screw Governor Wheelchair for sending the illegal immigrants in the northern states.
You know what
That's
should
it.
we should do about Governor Abbott or something? throw him off
I-
out of the Rio Grande and watch him drown.
all right, you said that in the live stream, and that's not my fault.
Oh no.
That's not
Yeah.
my fault. It's his
So
fault. As much
you
as
will now be canceled by the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, sorry, that's a joke. Or the Houston Astros. Or if you watch basketball, they're going to be
the
canceled
Houston
by the
Rockets, the
fans
Texans.
of the San Antonio Spurs or something. Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, so ay neto na
I'm
pinaka-ano ko
joking.
na,
I'm
last na
joking.
talaga 'to. Yeah, pinaka-last na 'to. If we want VP Vance to not be the nominee, who do we want? Ako personally, I wanted former Ambassador Nikki Haley. I know she has been a Trumper tard for how many years now. But she did flip on him, but then she grovel back. But then, in terms kasi ng foreign policy, I do want former Ambassador Haley in a way, but not her Israel stance. It's ironic given she's half Indian. Just
Half Indian. Oh my god. Oh dear. We're spiraling out of control. You got the guy
sumasayan
that
na sa
wants the
lusok.
government to be thrown in a river, and now you saying that Haley is an half Indian? Anyway, that's a joke.
I mean,
Okay. I do
no,
want
seriously.
Haley. Yeah, I do want Haley too. And Rubio, that would probably save their party for good. But,
Oh yeah.
if
No, but then
Vance,
babalik.
Ramaswamy, and the other bullshit dogs there, they're gonna run.
Yeah,
Mapipilitan yung dalawa na alam mo na, maki-join
yeah,
hands. Because Republicans are good
yeah.
in, accepting defeat and joining the dark side of everything. I mean, like Lindsey Graham did. So, I don't know.
He's always
Yeah,
been a
Lindsey Graham
scumbag.
was the most. He's like JD Vance, but more mainstream. Like he attacked Trump
Yeah,
from the start, and then
yep.
the ultimate
He's a crook.
360.
He's a crook.
Yeah,
He's a
he's just
xenophobic,
like
a
the.
racist, religious
He's
bigot.
just like the. Wait, can I add something? He's just like the human rights lawyer, and now he's on the dark side in the Philippines. He's now hiding abroad. He doesn't want to face the charges, right? He's just like
Yep,
that.
yep.
My God, I don't know. They sold
Yeah,
their souls not for
yep, yep.
rock and
They,
roll, but for people. Sorry.
yep.
I had to bring it up because the comparison is just similar. You used to be beloved by the other party, but now,
Yeah.
but now, oh my God. I, I mean, Jamie Harrison almost
Everything
beat
should
him.
go home. No, 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 no. Of course, he's not gonna beat him. I know that
No,
already.
I
I
mean in the
just,
spending, in the spending
yeah.
side.
Okay, fair enough.
Because
He
it
did.
just
He did.
goes to show that in a blue state, in a red state, they're willing to bet on a guy that's not gonna beat him. Imagine that. That's how hated he has become in the what state? Palmetto State. Yeah.
Yeah. Pero
Mm.
don't worry, he'll be the next senator in 2028.
Oh my
Talaga
god.
pe.
Mm.
Who?
Eh,
Who?
Senator Tim Scott will be gone. Si former Chairman Harrison. Umiiling siya, oh.
That's
Ayaw niya daw.
impossible.
That's
That's
impossible
impossible
nga.
as well.
I really doubt that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
They're the most.
South Carolina is
Can
too
I
far
just say?
red.
Yeah. And honestly, for a state that was governed by Thurmond and other racists, they still have that racist bone in their bodies. I just
Fair
feel
enough.
that.
So, magiging
Yeah.
senator
I
si
mean,
Nasty Mace? Oh, goodness.
yes. Unfortunately, yes. But
If she'll
let's just
run.
be hopeful. Let's just be hopeful that Rubio or Haley can take the mantle away from the orange Cheeto. So, things would be
Take your
back to
attorney.
normal.
Hmm.
Thank you, attorney, for giving
Normal.
us that. Yeah,
Orange
normal.
Cheeto.
Yeah.
pero, pero
Things will
ikaw,
be
Edu,
back to normal. Let, let's
sino,
go have a
sino,
foreign war for oil again. Sorry.
let's do regime change again, everyone.
Bomb Iran for fun and giggles. We should bomb Iran. That's right.
You should lick my ass, JD, before I go to bed.
What the
Hindi,
heck?
sige, ito na. Ikaw, Edric, sinong gusto mong, ito na, last na to, bago na talaga matapos to, ano.
To be
Sino
fair,
yung gusto mong Republican? Ah, Wala
I
talaga.
do not have
Love loss,
much
no
of
love,
an
no love loss.
opinion, but I guess the closest that I would want to be, I mean, I'm gonna be comfortable with having a this person as a president if they're Republican. Probably Haley.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I would, yeah, hey, Ambassador Haley and former Secretary Rubio. Ikaw, Dre, last na talaga, then we can all go, then we can all end this thing,
First of all,
which I
I would
really
like to say
botched.
I hate
Sige.
most Republicans. They're devil incarnates for some reason. And if I want, God forbid, a Republican president again, it would be probably Rubio and Haley.
As
Same
well.
as
So
you
I
guys.
guess
Yeah.
the
They're
four of us
decent.
agree.
How many?
And
Can
that's
I
not even
ask
a
Dre?
compliment.
Yeah, can I ask Dre? How many Republican presidents have you witnessed in your lifetime? One.
Well, Bush, Trump,
Bush,
got them.
Bush and Trump. You weren't.
How old
You
are you,
weren't
Dre?
aware.
Eh, bata ka pa eh. Huwag ka na
You weren't aware
20?
when. Yeah, you weren't aware when Bush was president. So
Oo.
I was
Maski nga ako eh.
unlucky to witness. I was unlucky to witness two, and that's just two. What if we have three? So yeah, that's a
Ah,
pain in the ass as well. I
Bro,
understand the pain. Yeah. Imagine
bro,
living
give me
in
the
the aught. Imagine living in the aughts, and then you have a guy that has so many gaffes, and then you went into something you can't control. Oh my God, I don't want to relive that. Let's just admit that Trump was, at least the economy of the first Trump admin was good. The Bush
Yeah,
years
in a
were
way, yeah.
bad, very bad,
Yun
and
totoo.
all of the polarity that's happening now happened under Bush. Okay, the the cable media became more partisan under Bush, and thanks to him, thanks to the Afghanistan and Iraq wars, to be honest. So
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
feel
That
the
did not
same,
help.
but Haley and Rubio, yeah, that's the closest thing to decency as I can think of.
Yeah, but foreign
Other
policy wise
candidate.
kakagalitan, pero foreign policy wise kakagalitan din natin sila.
Oh yeah,
dude.
if they become so fucking reckless with Israel, yeah. If they put Israel in the pedestal, of course we would be mad because you know they're actively arming Israel even in the nuclear side. So that's an extremist
If
thing
they
to take.
if
You,
they
you
if they
you're
abandon Ukraine, I'll be so pissed. I mean, if ever
no, no.
they become the next
I
president and
think
vice president.
I think Haley would reconsider Ukraine. I think she's a neocon to the core. So
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
going
Yeah.
to have the revitalization of the Pacific Corridor, stuff like that. So that's probably going to be her asset. But the negative asset is the social issues and the economic issues of the US would be status quo because, of course, what do you expect from a Republican on the economic side? Nothing. So
Nothing,
I'm
yeah.
saying it out there because I'm just being honest with
Yep.
what we're talking about here. They're not gonna do anything. Oh my God, the neoliberal thing. Of course, that's the Republicans' major
Yeah.
romance.
Yep.
Eh.
Especially economically wise, yes. That's why it's bullshit. Well, we did nag-usapan namin ni Sir Kurt on the other night. So yeah, it was about taxes, all that. So anyways, yeah, I guess that's it for now, gentlemen. And I'm very sorry, kila Sir Miles and Mr. Drew. We didn't get to speak with them because I really did watch the timeline. And then it's been an hour. Hindi pa rin nagpakita si Sir Miles. So I guess yun yung ano dun. So this has been a fun conversation. Third live stream. I guess I should do some live streams often. Pero in case nawala yung parents ko, mas okay na yan. Para at least hindi nila ako naririnig. Because they don't know this. They all know
I hope.
just nakikip. Anyway. So yeah, yun lang. Anyway, thank you again, guys, for this conversation. Even though we spent at least 20 minutes to one topic, I think twenty
That's
to
fine.
thirty.
That's a decent time for a topic, I think.
Yeah, we
Though
almost
yeah,
get to
we're
4 hours, 4 hours of this conversation. But
I
then,
mean
yeah,
3.5.
again, yeah, and then yeah, thank you again, guys, and then we can end this thing already. So, for the next time, I think there will not be any more discussion for now. I think let's see in my
Wait,
mind if I want
when do you
to.
think it's going to be the next time that this could happen, or with what topic?
Hopefully next week before the weekend since you're busy, diba?
Yeah,
And I would have to talk with them both
yeah.
maybe
I hope they're
tomorrow.
here next time. And if
Yeah, yeah.
maybe I don't know, because this only has a capacity of 5 people, right? Ouch.
No,
My
six.
oh
Actually,
six.
six.
So we can, if ever that they would both go, no, none of us would get booted out.
Yeah, no, none.
Nobody's getting
Yeah.
booted out. Nobody's getting nobody's getting booted out, folks. I don't have the Epstein files. Just shove it to your faces. I don't have it.
Anyway, I just wanna give shout out again dun sa mga to the ones who commented. Of course, si Tito Von, si Wide Awake, hindi ko alam ito yung pangalan, and our dear friend, Comrade Josiah.
Comrade.
Comrade. I
Comrade.
thought he
Comrade.
was offensive now. I thought he was a third
Nope,
rate Democrat from the
nope,
90s.
nope,
Oh,
nope,
sorry, no.
nope, nope.
But does he
I
watch
mean,
The Simpsons? No?
economically wise, probably.
Yeah.
Economically
Oh,
wise,
yeah.
probably.
Does he watch Friends like that? I mean, he loves Hillary, so every 90s nostalgia must be there. Like, does he listen to the Spice Girls or something? Sorry.
All right.
Or the Backstreet Boys? So, joke lang, joke. It's a joke.
So yeah, anyway, so that this is the end of the conversation for tonight, and hopefully next Thursday we can do this, or Wednesday probably. Hindi ko lang alam kung kailan free si sir, kasi if hindi siya maging free, then the three of us can still talk with those two gentlemen in our favorite country. No, just
Favorite?
kidding. Anyway,
I don't think
American
so.
exceptionalism to the best.
That's just my last
Oh
minute
my
no. I
god, you're not
really hope
gonna
it's
say
going to
that
be
live
great and
stream. Oh no. I don't
We love
agree.
America, guys. We love America. You're the greatest country
I
in the
love the
world.
FBI. So yeah, anyway, yeah,
just
we can end we really can end it there now. We can all of you can go rest easy now.
yeah,
So yeah.
it's nearly midnight here.
It's yeah
See you
midnight
guys.
na nga. And yeah.
Camelot forever.
Thanks again.
It's nice
Good day, good day.
seeing you
Good
guys and
day to
talking to
all.
you guys for
Good day,
3.5
gents.
hours. Good night,
Bye
everyone.
bye. Good night.
Bye.
Hmm. So yeah, that's it for tonight, and I'm so happy to get on with the last, well, third live stream of my podcast. So again, that's it. That's it for now. And thank you for the people who watch this live stream of our podcast discussion. And again, I once apologize to Sir Miles and Sir Drew Saviki because I did not get to tell them properly the schedule of the live stream, which did started at 8 p.m. Well, more like 8:30 sharp. So anyway, that's it for now, guys, and everyone. This is EJ signing off. Thank you and goodbye.